I wasn't exactly jumping at the bit to make a why I'm not a pedophile video. That's
Yeah, because it's embarrassing. Whatever cope you're about to say, Vaush, let's just be honest. The reason you don't want to make a video on why you're not a pedophile is because it's fucking embarrassing. All these things you said are embarrassing. Your folder was embarrassing. And like the Discord messages are embarrassing. You're an embarrassment of a human being, okay? My question is, who the fuck is saying that child slavery is good? Who is saying that? Why do you need to make these moral arguments?
I was just born this way. I'm attracted to kids. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm 20 years old. This is just who I am. There's nothing to do about it.
Yeah, because those people, like, they should feel shame because it is very shameful that you have that attraction. And you know what? The best solution for those people is just get, like, castrated. That's the best solution, honestly. So, Vaush, as you guys know, he's been in quite the hot water recently. If you want to learn more about it, honestly, go watch someone else's video. I'm not going to recap all the fucking drama because I'm sure if you're here, you already know, like, the basic summation, right? Vaush has made all these arguments for a really long time, like defending lolly, or defending actual child porn in some cases, defending lolly. A lot of them are, you know, it's like, whatever. You could take them as just him being edgy and, like, talking about lolly or whatever, making edgy arguments or whatever. But then we find out that he has a folder which has lolly pornography in it, okay? And I think this is my big issue with it. This is a lot of the other people's big issue with it, is that, like, Vaush having like, you get a certain amount of charitability, okay? I can believe that your weird, like, lolly defense arguments are you just being edgy, but you run out of charitability. Like, I can believe either one of two things, okay? I can believe that you accidentally downloaded lolly porn, like maybe you weren't paying attention, or I can believe that your arguments are just edgy. It's too convenient that these two things exist at the exact same time, right? It's like compounding issue on top of compounding issue, which leads me to believe that Vaush is a bit of a sussy boy, okay? I don't know if I call him a pedophile, but I mean, he's definitely fucking gross and a weirdo and should, like, just get a normal job. Why do all these fucking lolly obsessed freaks insist on becoming online influencers, on, like, political streamers? Like, go work at fucking McDonald's, bro. Go work, like, this guy right here, he looks like prime warehouse material, okay? Look at him, okay? He would do so well in a warehouse environment, okay? And then he can go home and jerk off to whatever fucking weird lolly he wants, okay? Just get this guy in a warehouse. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, let's just get right into it.
long time ago. There are two main reasons why I haven't. For one, everything we're about to talk about has been discussed over and over and over again on this channel, in live streams and in video.
Not you having actual lolly on your on your computer, bro. That hasn't been discussed.
Videos. Some of it has been discussed to death. Over engagement with the topic has caused it to have a disproportionate influence both on my community and on the way people outside of my community perceive me and my channel. The second main reason I've been hesitant to make this video is because experience has taught me that, generally speaking, if folks want to hate you or distrust you or whatever else, it's pretty difficult to convince them otherwise. Sometimes, if you're unpopular enough, even if you've got a good point to make, just the attempt to change people's minds can come across as kind of self-incriminating. You actually ground them further in the positions they already have. You know,
I mean, yeah, sure. For some, like, super hater-obsessed freaks, obviously you're never going to move them from their position. However, there's a lot of people that, hypothetically, you could convince. It's just that up until this point, and we're going to get into it, like, you have not been very convincing. You've convinced nobody. Like, just... there's a whole section of people that you could potentially convince that you're not like some pedophile freak, and you're just completely failing because you're retarded, right? It's it's unfortunate.
It's one of those deals where the people who need to hear it won't listen, and the people who will listen don't need to hear it again. Let's get right to it then. Let's not waste time. What am I actually talking about?
Cope.
Well, I hate to drop this on the people who just innocently watch me for my political content and don't engage in any broader...
As a lizard. Dude. That's actually... Dude, wait. Vaush actually has a lizard? Bro, okay, whatever.
Community drama. Some folks online have called me a pedophile. Now, this in and of itself isn't actually that noteworthy with the political climate being what it is. Folks
Honestly, I think it's more likely that Vaush is a zoophile, but we'll get into that.
are getting accused of being pedophiles on Twitter left and right. It's pretty common. But some people have called me this way more insistently and a lot louder. So why? Remember how I said self-defense can come across as kind of incriminating even if it's accurate or well-intentioned? Yeah, even though I've gone over all this before on stream or in videos, I wasn't exactly jumping at the bit to make a why I'm not a pedophile video. That's
Yeah, because it's embarrassing. Whatever cope you're about to say, Vaush, let's just be honest. The reason you don't want to make a video on why you're not a pedophile is because it's fucking embarrassing. All these things you said are embarrassing. Your folder was embarrassing. And like the Discord messages are embarrassing. You're an embarrassment of a fucking human being. Okay, that's why.
it's not. It's a rough subject, is what I'm saying. You know, that's one of the reasons why it's so effective as a smear, of course. It's just an incredibly difficult subject to engage with. So let's not waste any more time. We've got a lot to go through. What then is this video about? What do I have to say, and why do I want to say it? What are my goals in making the video? Well, the gist of it is this. When people accuse me of being a pedophile, they usually do so while presenting pieces of evidence, often clips from my live streams, that make me
All right,
look
what's
bad.
going on?
While I do think that...
I mean, hopefully this video has it. This is why I think it's very concerning that Vaush has a gecko, or a lizard at least, right? Because, I mean, it's just weird. Oh my god, this guy's a fucking retard. Does he zoom in at any point? I'm gonna kill myself, bro. Okay, here. What counts as bestiality? Sometimes I'm chilling on my bed naked. Their little claws are actually very sharp. So he's talking about putting a deck. I put a gecko on my dick for a picture once and I licked it. Mlem. Like, dude. I'm good then. Oh no, wait. Is putting a gecko on your penis bestiality? I think that counts, right? Sometimes the male geckos will run around and poke their balls because they're just so big and squishy. I mean, this guy is just a total fucking freak, dude. I didn't... Okay, whatever. I mean, like, you admitted to, like, putting a gecko... It's just so fucking gross. Like, why the fuck would you do that? And why are you taking a picture of it, too? And the horse porn and all this, like... All this summating just leads me to believe that you are a zoophile. Right? Like, that's fucking nasty.
A lot of the claims and pieces of so-called evidence used against me range
crazy.
from being uncharitable to outright dishonest. The fact remains that I have said some incredibly stupid fucking shit on this channel.
Understatement.
Especially really early on, like right when I started streaming. And I don't fault anyone for seeing clips from that and being suspect of me. You know, I wasn't doing myself any favors, I'll say that much. For a lot of them, such as the ones where I'm making a point that is overall good and like uncontroversial, but I do a bad job of making it, there's nothing for me to really like debunk, you know? It's not a takedown. It's more a matter of charity. You know, I have to go and look at these clips and explain, what do they mean? You know?
Yeah, and you fucking... Dude, you run out of charitability when you make these arguments over and over and over and over again, and then you have lolly porn on your fucking computer, right? That's when you run out of charitability with most normal fucking people, right? Like, you were right on the fucking edge of out of charitability, and then you fucking... it's over, bro.
What was I thinking? What was I saying? Is this clip like so dishonestly cut that, you know, no reasonable person would interpret it as looking bad of seeing the full context? Or was I saying really stupid shit and I'm going to have to like work to explain what my thought process was at the time? And past that point, it's up to other people to either believe my charitable explanations or believe significantly less charitable ones. You know, that's up to them. In addition to some of the legitimately really stupid shit I've said, I'll also cover some of the more bullshit accusations because, I don't know, they're transparently bullshit, a lot of them. I feel like you would have to already dislike me to read anything from them. But, you know, a lot of it is that, so I need to sort of point that out too. So as far as I can see, there are 4 groups of people that I'm addressing here, more or less. The first group is my core audience.
This is how all these fucking political streamers work, is they like, they're so fucking autistic. They feel the need to like put everyone in groups, right? Oh, there's this group of people that hate me, and then there's this group, and there's this group, and there's this. Like, no, bro. That's not how it works. People hate you because you're a fucking freak, okay?
It's the people who have
God,
seen
so
me
fucking
address this
annoying.
and provide context for this and deal with this bullshit a million times. For a lot of them, all of this is a repeat. The second group of people is people who just fucking hate me. I really don't know if there's much I can do to get across to those guys.
Nobody just, okay. I'm sure the people who just hate Vaush are a very small minority, right? I acknowledge there's fucking like Omega haters out there who will hate anyone no matter what the fuck they do, okay? But like, that is not the majority of people. That is not in any way like, people hate you because of the shit you've done, Vaush, not just based off you being you, okay? Not everybody's fucking flamenco level crazy, all right?
I would like to. I really do think a lot of the hate is misguided, but ultimately that's up to them, right? I'm not magic. The third group is the mass of disaffected, disengaged, entertainment-hungry drama vultures who are just here because they think it's fun to watch people squirm.
Me.
I see you.
Me.
Well, welcome.
I'm right here, guys.
A lot of this really has been like thoroughly addressed before, though, so I don't plan on doing much squirming, but there will be lots of self-debasement. So to you and to the people who just hate me, if you want to see self-debasement from me, there will be...
What the fuck does that even mean? Debasement? Let me look that shit up.
So you can look forward to that, I guess. Yeah, and I know that even making a video like this can come across as pretty damning, just innately, but I really do hope that you take it serious.
The act or process of lowering oneself in status esteem. Say self-deprecating, you fucking freak. Self-deprecating. Why do you use these fucking... Dude, oh my god, I'm gonna go crazy. Why are you using these fucking, like... You're just trying to sound smarter, okay? Just say self-deprecation. It's the same fucking thing. You're just... Debasement, okay.
Seriously, and try to be charitable, if for no reason other than because it is a pretty serious topic. And last, the fourth and maybe the smallest group of people watching this video are people who are genuinely neutral, or maybe coming
all the people, the smartest people are the people who like me, of course.
in with that fair mind to see what all the drama's about. Or maybe they're from the normie side of my audience, and they don't engage with the drama and the community stuff that much. I don't know. This will probably be a weird one for them, but nonetheless, welcome. It's a pretty wide range of people as audiences go, but I'll do my best to explain things and go through all the drama in a way that's clear and straightforward, but also doesn't drag on too long. Now, without further ado, let's get to the content. We'll start with the absolute worst of it, the monstrously stupid argument that I made way back when I first started streaming that has since haunted me and irreparably tarnished my reputation. Now, this clip is the one that I see cited most often when people are accusing me of being a pedophile. That's not even a little surprising to me, though.
Okay, he's talking so fucking slow. We're gonna turn it up a little bit, guys.
Sounds pretty bad.
In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography.
Like I said, pretty bad. This clip is from right after I started streaming, so a significant portion of my career as a live streamer has been spent providing context for the clip over and over to many people and many audiences. I've addressed it so many times that it's turned into like a kind of running joke in my community, like a rake that I'm cursed to keep walking into over and over, and it hits me in the head. I often see people outside of my community, people who have seen this clip but not seen me address it, mock the idea that any context that I or anyone else could provide could possibly explain away something that sounds that bad. When they see me or my fans say that this or any other clip has been taken out of context, it comes across to them as an effort to shoo away legitimate...
It sounds like cope, because that's just such a fucking insane statement.
Suspicion. Chastising people for having an opinion on something that looks bad. Like, You see a clip that looks bad of me, and then I or a fan of mine comes in and we're like, no, you need to familiarize yourself with like 50 hours of stream lore before you can have an opinion on that. I have seen people weaponize calls for context in that way, so I don't fault others for being like kind of suspicious of that or not taking it very seriously. Some people are just going to tune out right there. Now, don't get me wrong, the clip is bad. It's
he calls out other people for weaponizing context. You did that in your entire response stream to H3. You admitted you didn't even fucking watch his stream, and you just, the entire time you said, oh, everything's out of context, over and over and over and over and over again. Motherfucker, you didn't... Ethan watched the entire context of every single clip he played. Literally, nothing was out of context, bro. Like, the level of delusion that Vaush has is insane.
Rhetorically bad, it's logically bad, it's obviously optically bad, and the broader argument that it's pulled from are bad in all of those ways too. But as for what the clip and the argument that it's pulled from say about me, I would like to make the case, if I may, that it does implicate me, but not as a pedophile, rather as a fucking idiot, debate bro, brain poisoned jackass, because I took a perfectly fine argument. I think that, when I explain it, the argument itself
just fucking get into it.
And I ruined it with edgy, contrarian, devil's advocate nonsense. So let me explain. I had just started live streaming, and I was far, far more argumentative and belligerent and arrogant then than I am now, if you can believe that. Over the background of my mediocre Dead Cells gameplay, an argument with chat on the subject of foreign labor and unethical production was getting increasingly heated. Just in case anyone watching doesn't know, many of the products that we buy from American companies on American store shelves are produced through supply chains that take advantage of what we could consider unethical business practices.
I love taking advantage. I love, dude, the fucking chocolate, when the cocoa beans are harvested by little slave children. It tastes so much fucking better. You have no idea.
Like bad workers' rights stuff. Often this takes the form of sweatshop labor, practiced ubiquitous, for example, in the garment industry, where...
Dude, this shirt right here, 100% made with children tears, okay? Fucking 12-year-old retard tears, okay? If you work at a sweatshop, just quit, bro. What are you, retarded? Quit the sweatshop. Come on, man. Go work at McDonald's.
Sewing work is difficult to fully automate. This isn't just a foreign problem, though. There are garment sweatshops where workers make less than $2 an hour, operating right now in Los Angeles, as an example. It's a broad issue.
Wait, it's happening to white people? Dude, Vaush might have a point, guys. I don't know. That's kind of fucked up.
American companies profit from even worse abuses. The mining of cobalt and the harvesting of chocolate and palm oil. Those are three practices that are especially notorious for their use of child labor, frequently child slavery, frankly. In practice, often just child slavery. American companies profit enormously from this because these abusive work conditions, it keeps the cost of harvesting materials, of acquiring raw product relatively low. And as a consequence of this, the suffering of children is built into the fabric of
pure cobalt, bro.
Of exploited workers broadly, to be sure. But like I said, it's a widespread problem. I believed that in a just world, the American government would set a global standard for labor rights by barring companies from selling their products in the United States if they or other companies they bought their product from fell below a certain minimum standard for labor rights. I still think that would be great, by the way, as complicated as it would be to implement and as unlikely as it is to happen. It's a doable thing, That's not like there's precedent for that kind of action. It would make the world a better place. So anyway, there I was, belligerent, angry from arguing with chat. However much of a debate bro I'm known for being today, I swear to God, I was so much worse back then. I wanted to construct an argument that would effectively and succinctly convey the severity of the problem, how intertwined human suffering is with the regular products that we buy and use every day. Shock value was essential because I needed to prove how edgy and daring I was. And speaking of shock value, an example already exists of something so inextricably tied up in human suffering that both its production and possession are illegal: child sexual abuse material. If we already know something that harmful should just be excised from society, couldn't we do the same for products that we know are made with child slavery, at the very least? The parallel felt clear to me, and I wanted to really drive home the hypocrisy of the people arguing against me.
Yeah, bro, but literally every fucking person on Earth owns something with cobalt in it. not everyone on Earth has child porn on their computer, believe it or not, Vaush. I know it's a crazy concept for you, but not everyone is like you, okay? Some people are normal and they just don't have child pornography on their computer. I know. It's a crazy concept, I'm sure.
You were downplaying, I guess, the issue with the whole child slavery intertwined in our, economy thing. So,
In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography. How's that for a hot fucking take? Now, to clarify on this take, as I feel it necessary to do so, we do not, in this country, typically criminalize people who have procured media or resources which were the product of abuse. It is not illegal to own necklaces that have slave diamonds or whatever. What are they called? Blood diamonds. Yeah, all of our clothes produced by sweatshops, our computers with silicon and lithium mined from literal fucking slaves.
I love it.
In our society, we have already deemed.
By the way, this was all played on Ethan's podcast. None of this was taken out of context. I'm pretty sure he played literally all of this, by the way.
People are not responsible for the mechanisms by which
he still disagrees, though, because you're a fucking freak.
Media they consume and the content they engage with are produced. You like that argument? Ooh, you like that? You like that moral culpability? You're all worse than fucking CP owners, and I am too. Do you like that? No ethical consumption under capitalism. Shit sucks, right? But if we accept that argument for slave labor, then we definitely have to accept it for child pornography.
yeah, there you go. My dumb goal here was to spark indignant outrage, to make people who downplayed the immorality of unethical supply chains to reflect on the harm they were enabling through comparison, or for them to, bluster and go, no, they're different. Child slavery is fine, actually, and look back.
They are different! Dude. This guy, oh my god. He still fucking believes it, dude. He's like, oh yeah, I was a dumbass back in the day, but he still believes this fucking dumb fuck, low IQ, retarded ass argument, okay? If you think owning fucking with something with cobalt and fucking having child pornography on your computer are in any way the same, you need to go to a fucking therapist, a fucking psychiatrist to get checked out because you're probably a pedophile. You're a fucking freak, okay? You still believe this to this day? You dude.
It was meant to be like an invective, like something like, it gets
hot take.
It's punchy, it gets right through to people. Obviously, it didn't work. The only person I succeeded in making look bad was me, and that wasn't one of the goals. So, yeah, no, pretty bad. Because I really, really want to make sure that I'm being clear with my thoughts here, because I don't like being misunderstood, and being misunderstood kind of feels like my job sometimes. Just in case the bad logic of my brilliant little devil's advocate it's not coming across, let me give you an example. Imagine that I was a vegan back when I started my channel, and I was angrily arguing with my audience about the hypocrisy of America making animal abuse.
I swear to God, if he's about to talk about zoophilia, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to scream.
Felony, but also allowing millions and millions and billions of animals to spend their whole lives in torturous captivity before being slaughtered for meat. I'm flustered, and I want to make a point. So I start saying that, hey, if we're all being morally consistent here, we wouldn't even have animal abuse laws, huh? Why protect animals at all, I would say? Since we're clearly so okay with them being tortured and killed en masse, why not be consistent and just do away with all animal abuse laws too, huh? Of course, in that example...
Children are animals. One thing I can agree with Vaush on, okay? Children are animals in the way that we should put them in coal mines and have them work, but you shouldn't fucking sexually abuse them, okay?
I wouldn't really be arguing for the removal of animal abuse laws. I'd be pointing out an apparent hypocrisy in animal welfare norms with an abrasive devil's advocate. The point would be to get people to sort of like angrily confront my position or reflect on theirs. Likewise, in real life, 5 years ago, I wasn't actually arguing for the legalization of child sexual abuse material. I was pointing out an apparent hypocrisy in child welfare norms and our allowance of materials produced through the harm of children in our stores, with an abrasive devil's advocate. Abrasive and bad. So bad. I have spent the past 5 years explaining it. And to be clear, it really is a bad argument.
But, a lot of guys in your position who are these kind of like philosophical types, they want to talk about the whole child porn thing and how it's just as bad as...
What are we watching?
Slave labor, I think, was your argument.
Yeah, so that's one of the great philosophical debates of our time. Just can't keep it from...
I don't know. What is it about smart guys that they feel like, I must rationalize child porn? Like, do you feel like it just...
All right. Calling Vaush a smart guy. I don't know about that one, buddy. Okay.
I mean, first of all, just for starters, that was heavily taken out of context, correct?
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, obviously it's gotten thrown through the dishwasher a bit, as internet arguments go. The basic idea of the argument, the fundamental, which is like, it's bad to participate in the consumption of any product which, as a necessary prerequisite for its production, mandates the abuse of children. Everyone would agree with that, unless people are literally pro-child abuse, I guess. But most everyone would agree with that. People just don't like the direct comparisons because, A, in my case, it wasn't the most accurate one, due to some like nitty-gritty detailed bits. And two, it's like deliberately provocative, right?
Nitty-gritty detail bits. Child pornography and mining cobalt are different only in the nitty-gritty bits. Okay.
Comes up the same reason people make comparisons to Hitler during arguments. It's like the most provocative thing you can get to. Like you jump right to it. Like, well, how do I make a point about why X or Y about capitalism is bad? Crack snuckles. Okay, I've got one for you. Even if you're bulletproof on how you phrase that argument, people are going to get mad at you. But I wasn't. And if you're not, people will get more mad at you.
And I have had to explain it so many times. The vegan gains debate, that's a solid F. Not only did I not make my arguments well, in one point I made my anti-child pornography argument so poorly that it got clipped out of context and people are using it as an argument that I support child pornography. My basic argument is that, like, why is child material bad? Because to produce it, you have to hurt children. Because it hurts people to produce it, yeah? Producing child porn requires harming a child. The argument I'm making is that it frustrates me that liberals recognize child pornography as bad. Great, nice, well done. But then they're really, really defensive of, like, global commodity production chains that involve...
That's cool, bro, but then why did you have Lolly on your PC? That's cool. It's really cool that you said CP bad all these other times, but then why'd you have a Lolly on your PC, buddy? Why do you have little girls licking horse assholes on your fucking computer if you think CP is so bad? Shit, dude, I don't know.
Child slave labor. Like, we'll talk that.
By the way, I've heard it's literally buried, like, it's buried an hour into this video, by the way. Awesome.
Really, readily, like, oh, well, there's no other choice. Oh, well, we don't have to care about that. Oh, yeah, dude, like, cobalt that's mined up is done by child slave. But, like, whatever, that's just how the economy goes. Oh, dude, whatever, like, we make computers, they look sick, bro. Like, don't think about it. So that was the argument that I was making originally.
I don't know, me personally, I would have tried to find another example.
Me too. Me too, buddy.
The reasons for this argument.
My question is, who the fuck is saying that child slavery is good? Who is saying that? Why do you need to make these moral arguments? Why can't you just say, yeah, we do fucked up things sometimes to get chocolate? It's fucked up that we do that because there's like little kid slaves. Why do you have to invoke child pornography to make these arguments? Why don't you just say that it's bad? Because everybody fucking agrees with that. Nobody has to compare. Nobody hears you compare child slavery to child porn and suddenly realizes, oh, wait, child slavery is actually bad. Oh, I get it now. Like, who are you convincing that child slavery is bad?
Being rhetorically and optically bad are pretty obvious, I'd say, but I wanted to explain why it's also logically bad. The parallel between child sexual abuse material and commodities made with child labor is tenuous, mostly due to a huge gulf in personal moral culpability, right? I mean, hopefully that's obvious. It certainly wasn't to me back then. I still believe the presence of child labor in our supply chains is a massive issue, but, I've stopped making that point in such stupid, pointlessly abrasive ways. There's a sickness in the mind of the very specific kind of debate bro that I used to be, where you believe that if using the most inane, hyperbolic shock value arguments, it makes you seem smarter. I'm sorry. I can explain what I was thinking at the time, but I can't for the life of me understand what I was thinking, if that makes any sense. Yeah, all edge and no point, truly. Oh, and to be clear, I didn't make that argument just once. Remember, the whole rhetorical strategy was edgy, abrasive bullshit designed to bait arguments, and it worked. I mean, arguments were had. You're a live streamer, you have a hot take or you make an abrasive argument. Chat brings it up in the future. You argue about it again. I'm sure there are a million clips of that argument from different streams, but it's all the same damn thing. It's like taking 500 photos of me getting in a car accident and then saying it's 500 different car crashes. It's all the same stupid.
No, that's not the same. The thing is, you were like ramming your fucking head into a wall over and over and over again, making this argument. It'd be like if you did get into a bunch of fucking crashes and people took pictures of you, right? It's not like you did it. The car crash example would only work is like if it was within like the same, within the same stream, right? Like you just made the argument a bunch of different times on the same stream. No, dude, you fucking turned off the stream, and then the next day you decided to have the same argument. The next day you decided to drive your car right back into the wall because you're fucking retarded, dude. Just because it's the same wall and the same car doesn't mean it's the same crash. God, this guy is... I can see why this guy is... Like, he supposedly is supposed to be this big brain IQ debate bro, but, like, his hypotheticals are so fucking shit. Constantly.
Stupid fucking argument. Unfortunately, 5 years back, it took me a little while to catch on to how fucking stupid and self-destructive my edgy argument was, safe within the bubble of my then tiny community, where the only eyes I had on me were the eyes of my, I don't know, 100 or so committed fans or whatever back then.
100 is too much.
Negative consequences from employing
even
this
still
rhetorical strategy. I mean, it would bait arguments from chat, of course. Like, I got those disagreements, but that was what I was looking for. So I didn't interpret that as a sign of the argument itself being flawed. You know, it wasn't until I brought it up in a debate with Vegan Gains, a far larger YouTuber, that I realized how people outside of my community bubble perceive the argument.
Pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography, would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes.
Really? Even though they're directly supporting child rape?
Yeah, I think it's hypocritical. If I because I bought my computer and the silicon in it was farmed in Africa by slaves, if I can do that and that's legal and no one's going to call me out on my shit, then yeah, I have to be consistent in that respect. So
the supposed context here just makes you sound worse, because it makes it sound like you have child pornography on your computer. Oh, well, actually, it's okay if it's completely ethical to have child pornography on your computer, because I bought a PC and I have it has child slave cobalt in it, right? Dude, it makes it sound like you're dude, the context is worse, bro.
Okay, look, I think there's levels to this. So I wouldn't equate buying a computer to buying child pornography. I mean, it's in order to pretty much have a job anymore, you need a computer. So do you really think it's reasonable to equate something like buying something that might cause some amount of cruelty exploitation in the world that you need for your job just to be able to, like, not be homeless, to something that you're buying purely for very shallow personal pleasure that causes horrible, irreparable damage to somebody lifelong?
I mean, we can actually, like, partition it out. I don't know how much child pornography goes on the market these days. I haven't exactly.
Yes, you do, motherfucker. Don't. Don't even.
Checked, but I'd be willing to bet that the.
Did you say he hasn't checked?
Pornography goes on the market these days. I haven't exactly checked, but I'd be willing to bet that the total amount of suffering that goes into the child slaves that mine out like the silicon in Africa, you know, in terms of me supporting that industry. I mean, that's pretty bad, and I didn't have to buy a computer this big. I could have bought something smaller. I could have bought a little Chromebook. You know, I don't wonder how many more hours slaves had to mine up that silicon to justify me being able to own this. But I'd go with it too. Clothing I wear put together by slave shop work or sweatshop workers. Sorry, glasses, like everything. And if you wanted to step beyond the slavery element, like all of the stuff that I buy, it goes towards corporations. Idiot. I believe that wage slavery is unethical, the exploitation of workers, and everything you buy contributes to that, unless you're buying from a co-op.
Okay, well, look, there are, like, I think we could both agree that reducing suffering in the world is a good thing, correct? Even if you can't get rid of all of it at once?
It's always a good thing to reduce suffering, yes.
It's insane to me that I needed that kind of external confirmation to understand how bad it looked, how bad the argument was. But
you're still fucking retarded, dude, because you're still floundering. You're still looking fucking terrible. You said you weren't gonna, what was the word you used? Like slither or something? You weren't gonna wiggle or something? Like you're doing it right now, okay? You wiggled in your little fucking return stream. Like, that was like one of the worst looking streams you've ever seen, because you admit to not even watching it and then claim everything's out of context. Like, dude, have you even watched the H3 episode yet? I doubt it.
I have a very low opinion of the me in a lot of these older clips. It just makes me look fucking stupid, to be honest. As it turns out, when you're talking to other people and making arguments about ethical labor or labor laws or whatever, engaging in this kind of argument doesn't make people want to, they don't get like blustered and confront you in a debate about labor laws. It makes them want to call you a pedophile, obviously. So yeah, that's the explanation for the argument. Like I said before, it does reflect really poorly on me, but only in regard to my intelligence and character, not any sort of paraphilia. The clip is from very early on in my career. I think the original stream VOD was actually lost when my Twitch channel was first banned, but while looking for video context to add, I ended up finding this ancient effort from a fan of mine, presumably, to provide context to that clip. I don't know who made this. I hope they're doing well.
None of it is, yeah, I agree. None of it is ethical. But we've already made this social decision that people are not responsible for the systems by which the stuff they own is produced. We've already made that decision. You're right, but you're kind of revealing your power level. No, this is exactly what I fucking mean. I'm right, but I'm revealing my fucking pedo power level because I'm right. No, this is a moral inconsistency in society. The answer should be that all of these things are bad.
Hopefully that makes what I was doing there a little more clear, even if the way I chose to do it was really, really stupid. So there you go. That right there, that's the basis of like 90% of the pedophilia accusations that people make against me. Hopefully I explained it decently in spite of the fucking Herculean effort I made 5 years ago to make it completely inexplicable. I'm so tired of explaining it. I sometimes see people say I'm always talking about child pornography, but what they're referring to when they say that is me defending myself from that clip, from people bringing it to me. Like it's like this nonstop. It's Sisyphusian, truly. Like I cannot tell you how much I hate the me in that clip. The amount of trouble he's caused for me. You know, honestly, a car crash would have been less trouble. I tell you,
I hate me. I just caused me so much trouble. People call me a pedophile because I made fucking freak ass arguments. Like. You did it, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Stop this. The self-pity isn't.
Let's give me a broken leg. I swear to God. It's so stupid. I don't want to explain it anymore. Please let this stand as my explanation. Please, God. It's embarrassing. I look so stupid. Even with the charitable explanation, I look stupid. Let's move on. So thanks to my indefensibly stupid, let's call it child labor argument, I had given people a very easy in with which to attack me. Now, again, to be clear, I really don't fault people for thinking the worst of me on account of those clips. I really didn't do myself any favors in that regard, and I've been dealing with the social consequences of them for the better part of 5 years now, you know, of my poor rhetoric. I just want to make it clear that I'm not lumping everyone together in like a "you're bad faith if you criticize me" category. Of course, there are still people who act in bad faith.
You totally fucking did. You didn't even watch H3 and you called him bad faith, bro. Like, that's your whole MO, is just call everyone you don't like out of context, bad faith. That's literally all you do. That's your gimmick, bro. That's what you're known for.
Faith. And not all the people who wanted to attack me were interested in being honest about it. I'd made it really easy for people to make, pedophilia accusations against me. But the problem was, once I stopped making the child labor argument, I stopped making the child labor argument, you know? I stopped. So folks went fishing for other stuff to throw at me, and a lot of it was really, really dishonest. One category of disingenuous pedophilia accusation that I find particularly maddening is when they're cut from a video in which I am clearly arguing that our society has a tendency to fetishize youth in girls and that it's bad. Essentially, I'll say our society broadly has a serious problem fetishizing young girls, and people will look at that statement and they'll say, "Oh, I mean, he's projecting. You know, he's not talking about society. He's talking about himself," which is insane.
What do you mean that's insane, bro? Oh my God. It's like you spend all this time making these weird fucking child pornography, these lolly arguments, and then all of a sudden you're making these, obviously it's going to sound like you're fucking projecting, bro. It's like you rolled around, you like to play with piggies, okay? You're playing with the piggies, and then you're surprised you got all muddy and people are making fun of you, okay? Obviously, okay? Like, that's just going to happen, okay? Is that probably a fair assessment? Maybe, based off of recent. But was it a fair assessment at the time? Probably not. But, like, if you're going to roll around in mud, you're going to get dirty, buddy. Sorry.
Insane. Does that logic apply to all social critique? If I said that America has a problem with racism, for example, hypothetically, if you could imagine such a world, does that mean I'm projecting my own racism?
I mean, okay, if you were like fucking Nick Fuentes, right, and you had like a leaked call where you said that dating a black woman was like dating a dog or whatever, then like obviously people would say you're projecting after you say there's a problem with racism in America. Like, again, his fucking comparisons are so out of whack. Because he just removes, like, all the context. Like, he accuses other people of removing context, but he just removed all the context of him, like, having all these fucking freak-ass clips, right?
Innately. Here's an example of this exact thing happening live quite recently.
The average American man would be most attracted to, which...
Oh, I guess he did watch it. Crazy. It's almost like it was out of context. You fucking freak.
hypothetical strip club would be the most crowded if they all opened tomorrow?
I think it would be
Do you
somewhere
not want to
from
answer this
14.
question?
No, I think it'd be somewhere from 14 to 17. I don't
Which
think we've,
one?
we've changed.
This motherfucker.
By the way, that's so fucking retarded, dude. It would not be somewhere from 14 to 17. Okay, in no fucking world would that be the strip club that's filled up. Okay, obviously it wouldn't be the old one, but I mean, like, the average fucking person does not want to fuck 14-year-olds. Okay, I'm sorry. I know Vaush lives in like this fucking like weird freak degenerate world where he thinks everyone wants, and Mr. Girl, they both live in this weird freak degenerate world where they think that like everyone wants to fuck 14-year-olds. But like, dude, obvious, and I'm 95% sure like at least 90% of people would pick the 18 plus strip club because they're going to be more developed, and normal fucking people like developed girls. Okay, they want to fuck developed women, not little fucking girls.
Okay. Wants to fuck 14-year-olds. Okay. That is a child.
What a crazy clip. That guy I'm talking to in that clip, Mr. Girl, is, well, if he's not...
Okay, I mean, to be fair, that was kind of retarded for Ethan to say. But then again, that could be taken out of context. I don't know what he said right after that. Is it out of context, Vaush? I mean, shit, dude. Maybe you should add a little context on that, buddy.
pedophile, he does an amazing impression of one. I'll say that much. And he spent that entire...
So do you, bro. Oh my god.
Goddamn debate being a creepy piece of shit to me, asking me weird fucking questions. I think when he first got on call, he wanted to talk about how he thought he could have debated Hitler out of doing the Holocaust. You know, it started funny crazy like that, but over time it just got creepier and creepier. And eventually I just kicked him from the call in disgust. He's one of the reasons that I don't have a debating all comers policy anymore. You know, you got to filter some of these people. So, all right, where's the context, right? Well, here's a clip from that debate of Mr. Girl asking me that question the first time.
Here's a thought experiment. I'm gonna open a
Mr. Girl is also a weird freak, dude. I don't know why anyone ever talked to this fucking freak after he said the girls and cuties were hot. Like, seriously, what a disgusting fucking freak. Like, oh my god, like, I don't even have to bring up the situation where he invoked Bo Black's literal sister to talk about child porn, okay? Like, this guy is such an obvious degenerate. He should just, why do we allow this person to exist online at all? He should be fucking nuked from the stratosphere.
a string of strip clubs.
I will admit, though, his music is pretty banger, okay?
Las Vegas. It's going to be called Mr. Girls, Wherever You Want Emporium, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And in one strip club, the strippers are 25, 24, 23, 22, all the way down to infants. But each strip club, this is a sovereign state, so there's no laws. In each club, everyone is the same age. Okay, so if you want to watch babies crawl around, or you want to watch 100-year-olds, we'll start at 100. So basically, everybody and everybody all the women on the planet have to work here. My question is, in America now, which club do you think would be the most popular if this were to open tomorrow?
It would fully depend on like what women were in each club, right? Like, it would just be whichever women are hotter. I mean, that could hypothetically be like the 17-year-olds or whatever. I mean, sure, but like the most likely scenario is that it's someone over 18 because they're going to be the most developed, and normal fucking people like developed women, okay? Like, it's very unlikely that it's going to be the 17-year-olds unless for whatever fucking reason they chose like the fattest fucking women possible for every age above 18, right?
In a sovereign state adjacent to America.
Yeah, and it's there's identities are there's no issues of social ostracization. Nobody knows. Everybody's wearing whatever disguises.
The closest
Not
argument you
strippers.
could make there, I think, is from European literature from ye olden days, and it seems like predation against girls spiked up around like 14 to 16. So if you could, if all the
just looking
degenerate
around
sex
you.
tourists,
Do you think that's because, like, dude, these guys are so fucking retarded. Do you think that the reason like they spiked against when it was like 14 to 16 or whatever, do you think that that's like, you think they would go fuck those girls? I'm pretty sure the reason that happened is because dads would sell their daughters off, right? And they just wanted to probably sell them sooner, and that's what it said in the Bible or whatever, like weird religious shit. I highly doubt that if you pulled everyone out, you showed a picture of someone when they were 16 and a picture of someone when they were like 20, that the majority of America would like really want to fuck the 16-year-old version of them. Like, there's no fucking way, man. Like it's a self-report. It's a self-report.
Yeah, looking around you at America now. I want you to base this just on your sense. You know a lot of people. You talk to a lot of people about this. And we all.
You know, I haven't talked to a lot of people about this specifically.
The first fucking sensible thing he said, Mr. Girl thinks that everyone you talk to, you like have to talk to them about fucking child predation because that's just his favorite fucking topic. He has to fucking talk about it. But like, Vaush is at least somewhat normal in this aspect where he realizes that when you meet a new person, you're just talking to them. You don't actually have to talk about child porn. It's a crazy concept, I know. But like, you don't have to debate them on their ethics and like what they think about fucking kids.
We run in different circles, but
we run in different circles.
Your observations of
I don't think I've ever talked to anyone ever in real life about child porn. I think there's a common understanding that it's bad. Okay.
Which club is the most popular? Let's say men, straight men are going, and they're women.
Culturally, I don't think that we've done anything to appropriately discourage that kind of predatory behavior towards girls. So my guess,
the law, the law in the United States of America, I think we've done that to discourage it. I think the majority of people realize it's wrong because of the law, right? I realize legality doesn't equal morality, but the majority of people recognize that as 18 being the benchmark we set, anything before that is gross and immoral. Just because that's what the law is, okay? The majority of people in America realize that.
Guess is that it would be somewhere between 14 to 17.
I
think that culturally
what if the one-way mirror? The girls don't know. The girls don't know that you're. Is it even predatory to go look at them? They don't know that you're looking at them.
I would say that it's predatory.
Doesn't that make it more predatory if they don't know that you're looking at them?
It's a website where you can log in and look at locker rooms. Just forget the slavery aspect.
I would continue to believe that's predatory for multiple
for sure. But a much harder type of predatory behavior to discourage if no one will ever know that camera was there.
If you put a camera in an underage girl's locker room and the police found it, I assure you that they would be able to very quickly, succinctly, and with great confidence explain to you what you did wrong.
All right, now I have to go take care of something. No, I'm just kidding. My question is, which club is the most popular? My question is, where do you think we're at? And I'm asking it in kind of a exciting way because we're in public. But where do you think we're at? What is?
I genuinely don't think that much has been done to culturally disbar the average modern guy from the attitudes that we had back in antiquity.
Dude, you're so How do you believe this? Have you never talked to anyone ever? How do you believe that the average guy would want to fuck a 14-year-old, bro? How the fuck? I don't. In what fucking moral? Okay, for him to believe this, he has to believe that somehow 17-year-old to 14-year-olds are more attractive than your average 20-year-old. Are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking retarded?
Towards women and attractiveness towards women.
And what number?
I think it would be somewhere from 14. No, I think it'd be somewhere from 14 to 17. I don't think we've changed.
Those are big. That's a big difference.
I have no idea, and I couldn't even begin to think by which categories I would separate them.
But I don't understand how in any world you could think that. So, if you showed up, show a picture of. I look fucking atrocious at 14. Okay, I have fucking braces. I wore flannels every day to school because I was a total fucking geek. Any woman would pick me now because I'm handsome and sexy, okay? I'm sure this same thing is abundantly apparent for almost every woman on fucking earth, okay?
You're saying 14 to 17 and you won't pick a number?
I will absolutely not pick a number within that range.
Because you don't have a guess or because you don't want to be clipped saying it?
Because I don't even know by what category you would distinguish into that group, and because I'm referring only to my feelings on other people's predilections, not to my own.
You're a freak.
So you're not asking me for my preference, you're asking me what I expect of the average American.
No,
a group of which I have a very low impression.
Okay, but you don't want to say the number.
I don't have a number. Do you have a number? Is there a number you're looking for?
I think it's 15.
15, wow. Okay.
Well, I suppose we'll leave it to the historians to judge.
Maybe 16. It might be. I think it would be 14 at first, and then it would move up once the novelty.
Bro, I can't.
Or off. I think it would be 15 or 16.
Is this consideration in line with your desire to empathize with pedophiles, or is it something more personal than that?
What do you mean?
Why is he showing us all this? This makes him look infinitely fucking worse.
I mean, you sound like a pedophile, not a person who wants to promote empathy for socially misaligned people.
Why do I sound
Vaush, you sound like a pedophile too, because you said it would be 14 to 17. That's so obviously untrue. I fucking can't.
pedophile?
Because you're dedicating a considerable amount of thought to the subject of what type of underage girl people would be most interested in.
What color? If you had to guess what color their underwear would be, Vaush, what would you say?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
You see that? You people ask for debates, and what do we get? I am explicitly talking about a widespread social failure to address, prevent, or discourage predation against young girls. Nothing about my language even remotely implies that I'm describing my own preference. I think you'd have to be really goddamn dishonest or stupid to take that as a...
I think you're... Dude, I just fucking explained it. There's no world in which any normal fucking adult would pick a 14-year-old over fucking a 20-year-old. Are you fucking... Normal people who aren't pedophiles would pick the 20-year-old every single fucking time. It makes me, like, honestly, to self-report that there's something fucked up with your brain. Like, and you cite, like, historical evidence. Parents would literally sell their children. Like, they would sell their fucking children. They don't sell them when they're most attractive. They're just fucking selling them off whenever they're sexually ready to reproduce, because that's really all. That was like the religious reason or whatever. It's like so people would fucking so people could reproduce, right? Like that was like the whole thing. You wanted like a son or whatever, right?
Mark against me. Or alternatively, maybe you don't think we have a broader social issue when it comes to the fetishization of young girls. And
we do, but like that's obviously it. Like, we do have an issue with that, but obviously, anyone would pick a 20-year-old over a 14-year-old, bro. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
My belief that such a problem exists is just me projecting my own desires. You know, if you really think that, if you really don't think that broader social problem exists, then I think that's a mark against you, not me, personally, you know, with regards to being a suspect. Look, at this point, at least, ought to be taken seriously. We all have female friends who started getting catcalled when they were young. I mean, young. Teen is one of the most popular porn categories. Barely legal is a strip club advertising cliche. So common, a lot of people don't even think about how fucking weird it is.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking weird, but that's because it's like risque, right? Like they fucking people like it because it's like, oh, I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing or whatever, right? Like that's why people fucking like it. And I mean, I guess someone could like child pornography for the same reason, but what's infinitely more likely of why someone likes child pornography is because they're a fucking pedophile and they want to fuck kids. Okay? Like,
you know, clearly a problem exists. I don't think it's a problem that exists inherently. I think it's a product of our constructed social environment, capable of being made better or worse through the influence of, you know, different ideological forces. One of the most shamelessly
Badwick, by the way, fuck you, okay? I have shit to do during the day, so I stream at night. Okay, I'm a night owl. And it's not even that late. It's only like it's almost 1. Okay, buddy, pal.
Very pedophilic ideas I've ever seen taken half seriously is the wall. You've heard of it, you know, not the Pink Floyd, the red pill idea that women become unattractive and lose all sexual value after the age of 30. You know, I know the harm of this specific idea is mostly hypothetical because the median belief...
I mean, yeah, most women get ugly after 30. Sorry, I don't... Like, not all women, but, like, obviously a 30-year-old... Like, why not 20? Like, the majority... Like, the age I would pick for when women are most attractive is probably, like, 20, okay? Like, not fucking 14, bro.
In The Wall is like a 14-year-old boy who doesn't talk to women anyway. But it's still an example of how political ideologies can influence the extent to which predatory attitudes against women are socially normalized. To make a change for the better, you know, you'd probably have to look into some kind of, feminism thing. You know, not to get political, but feminist writing on this specific issue, the social normalization of being creepy about girls, that goes back a really long time. So again, pointing that out, I don't think that's suspect. I think that's a good argument. Fuck me, dude. That is bad. That is really, really, really fucking bad. Holy shit. If the original movie actually comments on child sexualization, that would be like a movie about child sex trafficking, and the poster is like a pinup picture of a 14-year-old girl with a black eye or something. Holy fuck. I can't even begin to describe how tactless that is. What's the takeaway from this one? Like, I don't know. Don't do that, Netflix? I don't even know. This is like
I mean, yeah, true. Obviously, Netflix is retarded. The creators of this movie are fucking retarded. Because the entire message of that movie was sexualizing young children is bad, and they did it by sexualizing young children. Like, obviously, that's fucking retarded.
This is unfathomable to me. Does anyone else get the feeling that like men, at least in the West, are kind of like taught to be kind of a little pedophile-y a little bit with how much we're fetishizing young girls? Does anyone else kind of get that feeling a little bit? Just
literally everyone hated this movie except for Mr. Girl. He was the one defender. No, I don't feel like that.
Smidge, possibly. Not like every guy's a pedophile, and I don't believe that. But like the way we hyper fetishize youth for girls is like really weird.
Where?
In every aspect of our depiction of sexual relations between men and women, we almost always associate youth with desirability when it comes to women, but not just youth like earlier than like 40, you know, because people before,
I mean, early 20s, bro. That's when women are the most hot. I don't know what to tell you.
I'd say like people like 20 to 40 are all like in a pretty conventionally attractive range. Sometimes beyond that, depending on, you know, a variety of things.
You think everyone from 20 to 40 is in a conventionally attractive way? Like, this is how I know Vaush doesn't look at a... This is how I know Vaush doesn't look at adult women, okay? Because if you look at the average 39-year-old and you think that she's as hot, as generally attractive as a 22-year-old, you're fucking you're bonkers, okay? You're out of your mind.
But like the girls are never like 35 or 40. They're always 18. Not to mention like a ton of porn is like just turned 18, barely legal, you know. Hold up your driver's license. We'll censor the fucking name, but there it is. Turned birthday 2 days ago. Yep, like they're fresh out of high school. Barely learned how to drive. Hey, thanks for picking me up. Yeah, it's my first day at driver's school. Like it's crazy how we how much we push this shit.
I mean, yeah, that's
same
weird.
exact deal. Me saying there's a broader social problem and people saying I must actually be talking about myself. I can't believe people try to use this shit against me. Seriously, it's really frustrating. Oh, and as bad faith clip jobs go, this one is especially funny because it is literally cut from the video that I made attacking cuties. The movie. I've been on any drama YouTube years ago. You've heard people attacking cuties. The video is entitled "Netflix tries to capture the pedophile demographic with mixed results." The video does not contain an endorsement for the movie. It's pretty critical. So again, like it's like calling a guy anti-black because he ends a video on, I don't know, the history of the Confederacy by saying racism in America persists to this day. And the people are like, well, of course that means you're racist. It's just stupid. I mean, you can tell I find it frustrating from the way I'm talking. I think there is a very clear difference between examples that, or I guess evidence that people use against me, where I am legitimately saying really stupid shit, and then ones where people are just like desperately cutting any kind of clip, like, you know, like Frankensteining clips together and hoping that, you know, something incriminating comes out in post. There's a lot of that, unfortunately. All right, next clip.
We've all jerked it to Lolly at some point or another. We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like, oh, geez. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened. I've never done that. I like... Just look at normal shit, bro. Like, I basically exclusively am on Pornhub whenever I'm jerking off, okay? I don't... Why even go on these fucking weird-ass hentai sites, okay? Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess I can understand if you, like, gloss over it, but why would you... I can't imagine that any normal fucking person would see Lolly, jack off to it, and then realize after that, like, it's gross. Right? Like, you have to know. Come on.
Some of these girls looked pretty young.
Yeah, this one definitely sounds rougher than the last two clips, but it's, you know, it's a bit. It's a joke. A bad joke.
It's a joke!
I can explain it. I don't think that'll make it any...
Of course. Oh my... It's a joke. Okay. It's a joke.
Funnier. The intended comedy element of an indiscriminate whirlwind masturbator being used to draw attention to a problem, that problem being the ubiquity of lolicon in hentai sites. I don't really know how anyone could get like a serious vibe from that, like there's any kind of like, you know, grave point being made. Again, it's not a funny joke at all. I mean, I cringe looking at it. It's great evidence against me if the point that people are trying to make is that I was or indeed still am cringe. So a point to their favor on that one, I guess.
Another thing leftists have pushed is the idea that pedophilia is just another sexual orientation.
Citation needed.
like being gay or straight.
Oh my gosh.
Stop discrimination.
Citation needed.
I mean, wasn't that like a thing on Twitter for a little bit where like there was actually some like fucking freaks doing that unironically?
Time to be more tolerant of demons who feed
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a broad leftist thing that people are doing, but like that, some people were doing that. Yeah.
on kids.
I do take issue with the moral outrage here. Child sexual abuse is widely underreported. It's a huge problem. It's incredibly damaging to the psyche of young people, and as they grow older, it can lead to many negative mental health consequences. However, stigmatizing pedophilia to the extent that we are calling them demons probably discourages pedophiles, people who feel attraction towards children, from getting the help they could need to keep themselves from abusing children. By demonizing them to this extent, you are increasing the likelihood of child sexual abuse. Do not demonize pedophiles. Demonize child sexual abuse and encourage pedophiles to get help. Now, if you've got pedophiles...
Hey, if you're a pedophile, go to a psychiatrist. Wow, dude. Big brain.
never sexually abused a child, but they're advocating for it, they're like, yeah, I've never done it, but is there anything really that wrong with lowering the age of consent to 13? Then of course, fuck them. Like, fucking shut them up. Just fucking smack them. But by and large, statistically speaking, there are 370 people watching right now. I'd be willing to bet that at least 20 or 30 of them experience habitual sexual attraction towards children. It's surprisingly common. To those of you who do to an extent that you feel as though it may be like a problem, please, just get some fucking help, my dude.
It's always a fucking problem, and if you feel any inkling of attraction towards any like prepubescent child, especially, go see a fucking psychiatrist. And if it's like, honestly, I think you should get fucking castrated, right? That's the solution. It's either that or fucking die. I don't know, dude.
There's nothing wrong with you as a person. We can't help the shit that we're into.
There
we
is
can't
something
help our
wrong, dude.
actions. There's nothing feels weird, man, about this. You can't help the things that you're into. If you realize as you're like 20 years old that you have a thing for kids, what the fuck do? Commit fucking Sudoku?
On some level, you can help the things you're into, okay? You could just not indulge in like, because like all these weird porn freaks, they say like, oh, there's no way I could ever not be attracted to inflation furry fart porn. Dude, maybe just stop going on these fucking weird ass sites, and because every time you go on these like weird fucking like porn sites, and you get more and more fucking like into the hole, right? Or like whatever, like I'm pretty sure it's proven at this point that like the more and more like weird shit you jack off to, the like it's like a fucking sinkhole where like you start to jerk off to more and more weird shit. So it might start out like, oh, like one furry comic here, one furry comic there, but then all of a sudden you're jerking off to like fucking furry fart inflation pyrocynical, okay? On some level, you can fucking help what you're into. And I would be willing to bet that some fucking freak that was exposed to a Nuxtaku video at a young age and started jerking off to furry porn because of it, eventually ended up looking at lolly porn and jerking off to that, and maybe now is like attracted to kids because of the degenerate rabbit hole they fell down, okay? You can most definitely, on some level, help what you're attracted to, okay?
Do you just stop existing right then and there? Do you toss yourself in front of a car? No. You have to live
Yes,
your life
you
anyway.
should.
And you have to
True.
recognize, if you're a responsible
True.
person, like, hey, even if I just keep this to myself, like, this might affect people someday, you know? I should probably maybe see what I can do about that. Talk to somebody. Okay?
Get
And
castrated.
can I just say how much I hate how my voice sounds in these old clips? So I think that I sound kind of stilted, and I think it's phrased a little weird because I just wasn't experienced at streaming back then. But yeah, the message seems fine. As I understand it, encouraging pedos to go to therapy is like mathematically the most effective way of reducing the likelihood of children being harmed, which is the point, I would hope. It doesn't have the punch or the charm of the classic kill yourself debate tactic. Those elements are lacking, admittedly, but my understanding is that that classic debate tactic also just tends to push them into like really insular, like-minded communities where they're more likely to enable each other's worst elements. So
The flamenco community.
I don't even know what in this clip implicates me, to be honest. But all right, enough with the clips that are easy for me to defend. Let's address the clip that I see second most often. It's probably my least favorite one because it is so stupid and so unnecessary, and the bad optics of it aren't even from the argument that I was trying to make. Here, enjoy the terrible clip.
Please, right now, uncuck your dumb shit libcuck fucking SJW brains and recognize this empirically correct fact that I am about to spit. It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible.
I mean,
Man.
obviously, that's so fucking retarded for someone to say, right? I mean, I guess the argument you could make is like, yeah, sure, like, one in like, you know, like the monkey typing on the typewriter. I think it's as likely that like the monkey typing on the typewriter writes fucking Shakespeare as it is that like an adult and a child having sex is like somehow beneficial for the child, right? Like it is so fucking unlikely. Why would you even fucking say it, right?
And look at how cool and logical I am, calling people libcucks for having the audacity to take issue with anything that I'm saying there. My IQ must be massive, the way I'm willing to, and this is the charitable take here, saw my own legs off at the knee. You know,
I mean, he's making fun of his old self, but he still does the same shit to this day. So I don't. What are we yapping? What are we yapping about, brother? What are we yapping about?
Speaking, no points for guessing. This clip's from 2019. You know, same as the fucking child labor argument. So same era, same brain. Before I can explain what was going on here, we have to finish the point that I was making because this is a really nasty clip.
It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible. However, categorically, we discourage those relationships because as a rule, it is substantially more likely that enabling them would cause harm in society. That's the difference between act and rule utilitarianism. An act utilitarian would say, oh, this is an instance where it was good for the adult and the minor to have sex. That would make it a good action. But the rule utilitarian, which is what I am, would say, even though that individual outcome was good, the act was still bad because in general, in a broader application for adults and children to have sex.
To be fair, this is like the one clip where I would say context was actually probably cut, and it makes him like. I mean, what do you say here isn't that unreasonable? Okay, I just feel like you shouldn't. It's whatever.
With one another leads to horribly destructive outcomes. For that reason, it is an unethical act.
You know, look at that. Whoever cut this clip ended it right before I said, but really nasty work. And I clearly don't need the help making myself look terrible. So, all right. What's going on here? What point am I clearly failing to make? And why did I say any of that terrible shit? What I'm trying to explain, poorly, mind you, is the difference between act and rule utilitarianism. They're two different ways of understanding.
Yes, of course. Anytime I have to explain the difference between act and utilitarianism or whatever the fuck, the first thing that comes to my mind is child pornography. Of course, dude. There's no other example I could possibly conjure up. My favorite fucking topic, I have to invoke that right here, right now. We're talking about child porn, baby. Woo! Like,
and what's wrong. At least that's what I thought back then. To understand what I was thinking at the time, I'm going to have to explain this in the context of my past self's, you know, like sophomoric Dunning-Kruger-esque understanding of utilitarianism. We have to enter the very tiny shoes of my brain back then. We step into the shoes of my brain back then. And back then, as I understood it, act utilitarians decide if an action is moral by assessing the outcomes of that action, right? So you throw a brick at a person, it hits them, it hurts them, that's a bad outcome. Okay, so don't throw bricks at people. And rule utilitarians do this while also considering the value of broader judgments or rules.
Yeah, all I'm hearing here is that there's a million fucking examples you could have brought up, and you chose child porn because you're retarded.
That might consider an action moral or immoral by default, based on a general judgment of the expected outcomes. So we have rules against throwing bricks at people, not because the outcomes are always bad. I mean, you could miss, for example, and not really do much of anything, but we still have laws against that because the expected outcome of throwing a brick at a person is bad, averaged out, and you want to prevent people from doing that thing generally rather than just like letting people hope that the individual outcome of a specific thrown brick might be good. Does that make sense? Well, again, none of this is a good understanding of utilitarianism, so I'm trying to explain how I thought about it. I know. You'll have to read up on the subject elsewhere. Don't get your normative ethics lessons from me, please God. So let me continue with the distinction. To keep with the theme of bricks, you know, we would consider it morally wrong to toss cinder blocks off of a highway.
This from Vaush. We're going to skip ahead because he's just fucking explaining all this boring ass shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, my presence online dates back way farther than the creation of my channel, which means people interested in finding examples of me saying stupid shit have a pretty wide range of material to choose from. Before I had a channel or was even known as
stupid shit like the time I sexually harassed a girl in Discord DMs.
Vaush, I was a frequent and notorious shit poster in the community of a streamer called Destiny. I know. That's why I am the way I am. I had been in his community for a long time, really long, and I really enjoyed the edgy, irreverent, debate lord culture of his Discord server. So let's look at some of the stupid, edgy, irreverent shit I said 6 years ago there that people have since screenshotted out of context in the pursuit of calling me a pedophile. So this is a perfect example of context being maliciously stripped from a screenshot in order to make me look bad, even though I'm right, and it's not even controversial. You know, I'm uncontroversially right, I hope. The conversation was about media and LGBT representation. Here's the gist of it. So coming-of-age stories are really common. You know, like a young person, they go on an adventure, they meet people they like, maybe they fall in love.
Oh my god, get the fuck into it. I understand what a coming-of-age story is, Vaush. Talk about why you're defending child porn.
One of the biggest culture war talking points back in 2017, and I guess still now today, is that kind of story is weird and pedophilic, and I guess the modern term would be groomery. I don't know. If the protagonist isn't straight. Right? So their argument was, you know, you can have a story where a young man goes on a journey and falls in love with a girl and everything's fine. But if a young man goes on a journey and falls in love with a guy, then it's weird and it's gross and it's different, and that's sexualizing them because young people can be straight, but they can't be gay, you know, because that's weird. That means they've been abused or whatever. That's the argument that I was pressing against, you know, and hopefully everyone watching understands it's a ridiculous and homophobic and, you know, irrational argument. It's a stupid double standard, but that's what I was pushing back against. You know, the exploring sexuality there in that context means it being incorporated as a plot element.
Get into the
Katara, spoilers. That's sexuality. That's heterosexuality, I believe, is the term for it. You know, in Teen Titans, Robin, like Starfire, not Raven, right? Starfire, whatever, like normal, uncontroversial, you know.
Okay, yeah, but Robin and Starfire don't start fucking in the TV show. That's the fucking two teenagers flirting, I don't give a fuck, okay? Teenagers flirt all the fucking time in high school, okay? Nobody gives a... Why would anybody care about two teenagers flirting and, like, having a little, like a relationship or whatever? The issue comes when they're, like... if they start fucking, okay? Because nobody... Like, that's gross. It's child... Like...
Bubs will say, like, oh, well, actually, it's bad if it's, you know, if young people can be gay, even though everyone knows they can be. Like, it's just... I have a feeling the person who clipped this to, like, use it against me
I know, it's
wouldn't
crazy if people are saying this is a good defense.
Disagree with the argument I'm making, because a lot of these, like, really bad faith clip jobs come from people who are ostensibly left-leaning, which makes me wonder, like, if they don't understand they're doing the same thing that like the conservatives they would otherwise disagree with would do. I don't know.
If you ever do anything that, dude, some conservatives like eating burgers, so you can never eat a fucking burger. Okay, that's what Vaush unironically believes. If you ever make the same argument as a conservative, then you're somehow a fucking, like, quasi-conservative. Okay, it's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking annoying to people make these, like, oh, you're making the same arguments as a Nazi. Maybe fucking Nazis were right about this thing. Okay, dude, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's really, really, really frustrating. Nobody disagrees with me on the argument that I'm making here. I hope. If I had only known then what my future would hold,
I don't think you've explained the fucking argument.
Then maybe I would have optically workshopped it a little more. On to the next one. Yeah, okay, so this one actually is bad, and I've apologized for it a few times. Basically, here I'm doing that thing that guys do where, you know, a hot female teacher will be arrested for raping a student, and the guys in the Facebook comment section will be like, you know, where was she when I was that age? Could have used me some of that. And basically, like, the thing they do where they downplay and trivialize the sexual abuses of the teacher because they personally think it would have been cool if they could have slept with their hot teachers back when they were 14. And yeah, when I was 14, I also wanted to fuck my hot teachers, obviously. But, you know, 14-year-olds are idiots. Their interests, desires, and preferences shouldn't really be accounted as a solid moral argument to anything. So this screenshot isn't really missing any context. It actually is shitty, but I've since come around on this, and I've recognized how bad it is to downplay or idealize that kind of thing. So, you know, I've been consistent about that for years now on my channel. Not much else I can do. All right, next one. All right, so this one looks bad. I think this is probably like one of the other things that gets used against me the most.
Why I say age of consent exists out of respect for the numerous power imbalances older people have as younger people, as imbalances, or at least some of them, are redressed through, I don't know, the ages of consent should be lowered, should therefore be lowered. Wow. This is so fucking retarded, as all the issues are solved by... As those imbalances, or at least some of them, are reduced through the advent of capitalism. What power imbalances are being reduced through socialism. What? Oh my God. I mean, I guess let's hear him explain it, guys.
Most often,
Maybe he has a really
it
good
is
point here.
mostly just stupid in the same way that the previous like terminally online debate brained tendencies we've seen have been stupid. You know, my argument was that under socialism, an economic system that I don't believe exists or has ever existed, you could defensibly adopt an age of consent set to the same level as it is currently set to in England or France. Another pointless intellectual exercise conducted, I assume, because I and a lot of other people in the Discord server believed arguing controversial topics.
How does this even make sense, dude? I don't fucking, like, what? What? How would socialism, like, you're still a fucking retarded 16-year-old, whether it's under capitalism or not, okay? That doesn't mean it's suddenly okay to fuck a 32-year-old.
Through inane hypotheticals made us cool and smart. Wow, good thing that didn't carry forward into my streaming career. I think my logic was, no, I know what my logic was. It was that the idea that economic disparities are a primary element of the power imbalance between adults and minors.
No, not true. Economic disparities, that's bro. The primary disparity between a child and an adult is economic? Bro, what are we saying? What? Hello, Red Rock. Bro, that's not true. It's because kids are fucking retarded. Kids are like, that's why it's bad for, it's not because an adult has a lot of money and a kid doesn't have a lot of money. That's why it's bad for a kid and an adult to fuck. It's because kids are retarded. That's why a kid and an adult aren't supposed to fuck. Okay? That's, if for that logic to work, you would have to say that it's like rapey for a fucking billionaire to fuck like a poor person, okay?
And that removing that imbalance through total economic equality would rectify a part of the power imbalance. It's a stupid argument. I definitely don't agree with it anymore. I probably didn't agree with it like very shortly after I made it because I was arguing about it. You know, like it's pretty easy to poke holes in that one, I gotta say. Economic disparities are present in couples of literally every age, right? The power imbalance between adults and minors is more developmental and social. So the argument was stupid and meaningless, yes, but you have to understand that
I am. How do you ever think this? How do you ever think that dude, if I was at any point this retarded like in my life, I definitely wouldn't be a streamer and I probably wouldn't be alive, okay? I'll tell you that.
To the mind of the terminally online debate, bro, the hotter and less necessary the take, the cooler you are for making it. Great stuff.
I think I would have been able to realize that's retarded at like 10. I think I would have realized that fucking argument is like straight up Down syndrome level, fucking bottom of the barrel, sewer dwelling retarded at 10 years old, bro. How are you?
You know, I've done myself nothing but good service in the pursuit of all these excellent arguments that needed to be had. I think that's it for the Discord screenshots that I can meaningfully add context to. You know, like ones that I think are substantive enough to warrant any kind of explanation. The others are.
What about the one where you admitted to having a gecko on your penis and had it lick your penis? It's a little weird, bro.
Fake, like just like faked, like photoshopped or whatever, or so insubstantial that addressing them feels pointless. Yeah, you know, I want to give you an example of what that so often looks like, though. So here's one so stripped of context that I don't even remember what the conversation was about.
I know.
Yeah, I see so many attacks against me substantiated by evidence.
I mean, this is a pretty banger message, okay?
Like this stuff so insubstantial you would have to already dislike me to buy into it. Leaving aside the fact that like if you're screenshotting a message so selectively that you remove like not only the literally all the surrounding information, but you've the image exclusively contains a single sentence. I mean, Jesus, like if that's the standard for making a person look bad, you can make anyone look bad. Like it's incredibly easy to make people look bad if that's the standard. But the one sentence that remains is literally a stock joke. It's wry sarcasm, you know, like oh wow, what did Benito Mussolini ever do to you? Wow, what did arsonists ever do to you? Wow, someone got murdered in your town and you think that's bad? Hold on there, buddy. What did murderers ever do to you? Like the joke only works if the person making it assumes everyone present already knows the group being referred to as bad. Nobody actually says that when they're defending a group like sincerely. You know, like nobody. That's
okay, cool.
It's a stock
joke. You made a
joke.
stupid fucking joke, and
I don't want to be
Why the fuck do you feel the need to over-explain this? It's so fucking boring, man.
Annoying by overstating
Say it was
this,
a fucking stupid ass
attacks
joke.
against me are given a lot of that volume. A lot of it is just nothing. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to see some gigantic ultimate compilation of evidence against Vaush with 100 links. And then you look into them and fully, like 90% of those links are just nothing, sheer filler, completely meaningless. But to everyone else, it might as well be 100 bulletproof accusations because they're never actually going to look at them. I'm not just saying that. I've been online for a while. I know how internet drama works. You hear about a person being bad. You hear about them being bad so many times. You know, people say, oh, look, here's the evidence of it's a big, like, you think everyone reads those big...
It's just like, I think the point of it is like all these things are compounding on top of each other, right? Like obviously that last like joke message or whatever, that would be retarded to include in an evidence documentary. But like it's all compounding, like these weird arguments you made. Then on top of that, there's these weird Discord messages you made. Then on top of that, you have like rationalizing pedophilia. Then on top of that, you have the leaked folder. Like there's only so much charitability people are going to give you until they call you a fucking pedophile. And you have far exceeded that amount of charitability for most normal fucking human beings on earth. Okay. Like if you had done maybe one of these things, I would be willing to say like, okay, you know, maybe like it was a mistake. Maybe you genuinely did that. But bro, it is too much at this point. It's fucking ridiculous.
Twitlongers, all those big documents, those 18-page Google Docs that people drop with all the evidence of this and that. Most people don't read all of that. For the most part, you know, if there's a lot of evidence towards a person being bad or a lot of perceived evidence, I don't think that's nothing. But I don't want to, you know, I can't like, we can't pretend that it's not impossible to pack a bunch of sawdust in with the grain, you know? And I think that oftentimes I am either responding to people
Yeah,
who
you're
have
such a fucking
the
victim,
more frustrating
bro. I
one is like
understand that.
sometimes, you know, you see people saying stuff about me and then you turn and look behind them to see what like evidence they've mounted, and a lot of it is like nothing. And I feel like if you could tell them like, hey, look, turn around, like look at what you're using. Do you not think it would be good for you to stand by any of these criticisms? Or I have said legitimately stupid stuff. You know, I'm not trying to deny
You
that
still do.
or downplay that. I'm only saying that it makes it more difficult for me to address or give context to those things, give people the opportunity to decide for themselves with the real information how they feel about me when it's all being kind of, you know, buckshotted at me in a...
And every time someone does come to their own conclusion based off things you said, you fucking freak out and say, oh, it's out of context. Oh my God, Ethan said I'm a bad person. Oh, it's out of context. He's being bad faith. Blah, 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 blah. Like you want to sound like so neutral. Like, oh, I don't care what people think about me. But like, bro, you obviously do.
In a big cloud
Cheers.
of nonsense.
Cheers.
I don't want to harp endlessly about
I'm
that
not a
nonsense
real
because
sailor. I'm just I'm a pretend.
I feel like it does take away
I'm
from
a
the substantial
lifeguard.
stuff. But like, look at this. Like look at this. This is like here's a screenshot. Here's the kind of shit I see. Like what does this mean? You know, why do I see this included as like what did I mean here? I don't know. How is this supposed to implicate me? Why is this being presented as evidence that I'm a pedophile? Like a computer, I opened Discord to find the brain geniuses of Destiny's community having a spirited and extremely necessary debate on the subject of sex bots that look like children. So I sigh deeply, bring my fingertips to the keyboard, and type.
Okay,
this
we
is
get
what I'm
it.
doing here is nothing else.
Like you're a victim because you made some jokes.
Being
and
critical
people
of
using
me.
them against
It's
you.
just,
Wow.
you know, a lot of stuff gets thrown my way. So after all that, now we finally arrive at this most recent drama. The incident that lit a fire under Drama YouTube and is, to my mind, the only thing I've done in the past 4 years that actually looks bad. It's pretty fucking embarrassing to say the least. So there I was streaming a few weeks ago, browsing a men's fashion site. I wanted to look at an
Why would
image.
you be looking at fashion on stream? That's such a weird stream thing to do.
More closely, so I right-clicked to open the image in a new window, but then accidentally instead clicked the Save As tab in the right-click drop-down menu. Now, because I am, as has been extensively demonstrated in this video, a fucking idiot, my preferred strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to keep a single big folder called To Be Sorted, where every image, document, music file, whatever I happen to download gets sent. This is an insane thing to have as a live streamer, but, you know, there you go. It's me. So I hit Save As, and a half second later, a preview window of the folder and its contents popped up on stream. And now, of course, that folder had porn in it. So I immediately ended the stream and deleted the VOD. Even if it weren't just embarrassing to make a mistake like that, it's one of the largest political live streamers on the platform. It's TOS. You got to delete the VOD. So I stream with no delay, and folks are always screen capturing the feed. So I knew the contents of my To Be Sorted folder.
This is just shit I use for like thumbnails. This is like the main folder it would save into. Oh, goon material right here. Goon material summer. Oh, gooning. Goon material. So stupid, man.
And
You
the
can
preview
search all
window
my hard
were
drives. There's
irrevocably
literally
public
zero
knowledge.
porn.
But to
That's
be
fucking
honest,
weird.
that didn't really bother me too much. It was embarrassing, sure, but mostly because it made me look like a careless idiot, not because I was ashamed of the, like, furry demon monster GF.
You should be. If you're not fucking ashamed that you're jerking off the furry porn, then you should need to be bullied more. If you're not ashamed that you have some weird fucking fetish, you should be bullied more. Especially if you admit it publicly. Like, you can enjoy whatever you want in your private time, but if you publicly admit that you want to be a horse and fuck a little lolicon girl, you should be bullied. You should be fucking harassed, bullied off the internet, because it's fucking weird, and we shouldn't normalize degenerate shit like that. That's just how it is, okay?
Big dick porn stuff I knew I had in there. You know, I rambled about liking all that stuff on stream before, not a secret, and I thought...
Yeah, that's why you should be fucking bullied. It's because you openly admit that. That's fucking weird. It's gross, degenerate, and it should be normalized.
You know, maybe, in a way, this fuck-up would come across kind of charming. You know, like, that's my streamer, that fucking idiot right there. My community was already making a big joke of it by the time I went live again. Of course, I knew as soon as the folder opened on stream that it would be pretty easy for people to lie about what it contained, to stir up drama or cause me trouble or for any other reason. So when later on in that stream, one or two people came into chat and they said, hey, there was lolly in there. You know, I figured they were just causing trouble and I banned them. Of course, we know where this is going. By the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that two of the images in my folder preview window were actually from a well-known lolicon artist, and therefore definitely intended to be lolly shit, which has to be the worst possible way to find out about that sort of thing. Now, obviously, the accusation here isn't just that I had those images saved. That part's true, not really an accusation, but also that I must have known that they were lolicon and saved them because they were lolicon.
How do you not fucking know? You looked at it, pressed save as on your computer, and downloaded it on your computer. You looked at it for more than 2 seconds, right? It's not like you were just like scrolling past and you realize. You fucking looked at it and you jerked off to it. Like, bro, how do you not notice? You fucking disgusting freak. Jesus Christ.
Now, the obvious and predictable, but nonetheless true response from me is that no, I didn't know that. And that must not have been the impression I got from those two drawings, because if I had gotten that impression, then I wouldn't have saved them. You know, I mean, drawings are abstractions, and art styles and body proportions vary massively, even for characters that are unambiguously adults. That doesn't mean lolly shit isn't a thing or a problem. I've bitched about it being a problem like a lot on stream. It just means that carelessly or inattentively failing to notice it isn't exactly impossible. Yeah, I know what some people are going to say. You know, no, you must have.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that you just didn't realize, but like, bro, you're fucking scroll. Like, you saved it. You jerked off to it, and then you saved it, bro. And like, you know what? Maybe I could extend you a charitability to where like I'd maybe believe it was an accident, but you also made like I said before, all these weird fucking arguments, all these Discord messages, all this other weird shit surrounding you, like your charitability meter, way off the fucking charts, dude. It's over. You're done.
No, there's no way you
work in a warehouse. You're prime warehouse material, like I said earlier.
No, and like what am I going to do? Make a fucking evidentiary argument here? You know, like I'm not putting up the images so we can argue about the pixels or the proportions or whatever. I know fully well that like 99.9% of people who have heard about this drama haven't seen the images, nor do I think those people should go looking for them, obviously. So it's pretty much entirely a take me at my word or don't kind of situation where people are free to lie about the drawings, or, as I've already seen on Twitter, just post other really bad looking shit and say that's what I had in my folder. There's not much I can do about it, right? It's all totally unfalsifiable.
You're such a victim.
And people are gonna.
I rolled around in mud for 3 years for fucking my entire streaming career, and I was just playing with piggies, talking about lolly, talking about the fucking child porn, and now all of a sudden people are gonna call me a pedophile. I'm just the biggest victim, guys. I'm a big old victim. Feel bad for me, my audience. Please feel bad for me. I'm just a victim of Twitter.
Make whatever assumptions and inferences they want to make. All I can really say is that I didn't notice a problem while saving the drawings. The same way a person could fail to notice any element of any drawing if they were careless or inattentive or distracted. Hell, chat also pretty much immediately clocked two other drawings in the folder preview window as being AI art, something else I didn't notice, and they gave me plenty of shit for that too, because I'm not a big fan of AI art. You know, I think I've done.
Dude, Bro, shut the fuck up.
Good job.
Why is this in your lolly response video? You're like, oh. The biggest apology he's given is for being a retard and having AI art on his computer.
Demonstrating a
I just
tendency
can't, bro.
towards
I fucking
carelessness, if nothing else. So leaving
You're a
that
freak.
stupid, least charitable argument aside, someone might then ask, okay, I get it. It's possible to make a mistake like that. Why then would you save the images? And what about them did you like? And look, there's really no way of saying this without sounding crass or flippant or whatever, but you know, it's already a pretty revealing video. There's actually a very clear and simple explanation for why, you know, for not just those two drawings, but in fact, all the drawings in that folder and all my porn tastes generally. And it's an explanation that is extremely well known and well substantiated. I'm a size queen. I like big dicks. Yeah, I was looking through drawn porn like furry or hentai or whatever else. I saw big, well-drawn dicks.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody fucking believes this. You were just too distracted by the huge cock on stream that there's no way you could have noticed the little girl licking the horse asshole. Come on! What are we talking about?
I thought, cool, and saved the drawings, then never looked at them again, as evidenced by the fact they are in a big dump folder literally called to be sorted. That's, you know, that's the extent of the consideration that I gave those two drawings before.
If you're never going to look at them again, why are you saving them on your computer? You fucking...
My community and then the entire fucking internet helpfully corrected my mistake. It's hard to even say anything about it. You know, 5 seconds of, ooh, nice dick, cool line art, saved. And it's a whole discourse. You know, I wish I had an answer that was more satisfying, but really for something like this, I feel like people are going to believe what they believe. I do think there is a real argument to be made about carelessness, especially with regard to lolicon and its seeming omnipresence in the anime community. You don't have to know much about anime to know that's an issue with it. I find it repellent, and I've been bitching about it for years. Plenty of that bitching has been on stream too. But it's possible to find something repellent while also not being perfectly vigilant about it, you know, especially in art where stylization and abstraction can kind of, I guess, cloud awareness and judgment of the extent to which any artists you follow or people in the community might be doing sussy shit, right? Pardon me for taking my most indefensible position yet on this, you know, in this video. In the history of my channel, I actually do like some anime, you know, and there's a lot of really good shit out there in the anime community broadly, and in a lot of the...
I don't care.
I hate the fact that, you know, the... you know, pervasiveness of lolicon, me looking through what looks like whatever you're into, you know, while also feeling like you
it's just, guys, if you jerk off to hentai, it's fucking impossible to not jerk off to little kids, okay? If you jerk off to hentai, it's fucking impossible to not look at little kids every once in a while, guys. Like, it's fucking a nightmare level difficulty to not look at little children, jerk off to it, and then save it to your computer, bro. Like, it's like, hang up the towel, bro. Fucking, it's impossible. If you watch anime, you're basically a pedophile, okay? How many? Okay, the answer is 0. True. It was all kitties and horses, okay?
Vigilant that in this...
What's a child horse? What is the name of it? Like not a mare. That's a guy horse. What's the...
incredibly normalized process. Some of these drawings might be of characters that are canonically underage, or that like an artist...
Canonically underage doesn't mean fucking anything, okay? What matters is when they look like children. And Vaush, wow, what was in that folder definitely looked like children, okay, buddy? I'll just say
generally
that.
Draws in a kind of like cartoony style might be fine, but then another artist does that, but then they're like actually drawing like they're meant to be teenagers or whatever. I don't like it, and it's a normalization issue, and I think one of the best ways you could deal with it is by being aware. I'm not perfectly aware, so I fucked up. This wasn't the first time that I fucked up in this specific regard. You know, after the whole child labor argument saga, people went through a bunch of like likes in an old public Twitter or, you know, porn account that I had, and over like thousands of liked, you know, furry big dick monster girl images or whatever. I think they found one that was like the character was meant to be a teenager. You know, like, and it's not surprising to me that might happen because, you know, I'm running between classes, scrolling on my phone. I look at an image, maybe 2 or 3
between class, dude. This guy is so fucking weird. He's such a degenerate. You're doing it between classes? You're like headed from fucking math to history and you're fucking scrolling porn? What is wrong with you? Did I hear that? What the? Dude. If I'm like in like university or whatever and I see someone like walking in class with horse porn on their fucking phone, I might have to brawl them right then and there. Fight them right then and there. What the fuck?
Seconds before I like, the degree of scrutiny required there indicates that this goes beyond some kind of like matter of personal temperance and extends broadly
Bring back
into like,
shame. Literally,
how
bring
weird
it
is
back.
it that that's something that's been that normalized, you know? Anyway, I don't mean to like make a big point or make it like a broader issue, you know, as a way of pulling attention away from me fucking up. I just think it's a broader issue, you know? People are going to say what they're going to say. They can judge me for what they're going to judge me for. I think a lot of people have been real and charitable. You know, I think it's insane to say this like, yeah, it's a pedophile. You got him. I think that's insane. But again, it's not really an evidentiary argument that I can make. So, you know, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I don't know. God willing, anime culture will get better one day. I wouldn't hold my breath though. So,
Jesus
that's
Christ,
the
I'm
long
sorry.
and short of it. I'm sure there are other clips or
I'm allergic
screenshots
to
or
this
arguments out
bullshit.
there that people have thrown into their big anti-me documents. But like I said, I wanted to focus on the accusations that I feel are at least somewhat grounded. If I took the time to tackle all the obviously fake or disingenuous shit, we'd be here forever. And I think it would take away from the stuff I actually did feel I needed to address. You know, again, walking that line. There is a lot
you're
of
saying this, but you literally went on multiple rants that had nothing to do with what we were talking about, okay? Like, oh my god, this video was it was sludge to get through.
shit, but I don't want to convey the impression that I
Damn.
feel every attack against me is illegitimate.
I live in
or at
like a
least
hick-ass town. I didn't even know that.
it's not properly motivated. So yeah, this isn't about debunking a narrative, you know, it's about waving away the most transparently bullshit stuff so that I can focus on explaining the actual mistakes that I've made, the actual stupid shit that I've said, providing context and laying out my thought process so folks on the fence have all the information before deciding to lean.
This convinced literally nobody on the fence, okay? In fact, all the people on the fence have probably, after this video, firmly jumped on the side of anti-Vaush, okay?
Charitably or not. Yeah, I can't make someone be charitable. It's just up to how they see things. And, you know, I can't ever view all this drama from an outside perspective. I'll always be biased because I am literally the only person who really knows how I feel and why I've said the things I said. And
literally every non-biased person is saying you're in the wrong, Vaush.
To cap it all off, to cap all this off, I'd still like to try my hand at it. I'd like to try and present the charitable narrative, how I feel this all looks with all the information and how I hope people take it. You know, again, not holding my breath on that one, but this is what I hope for. You know, I have said some really, really stupid and difficult to defend stuff. Now, that much is clear. But almost all of it comes from the very, very beginning of my time as a live streamer. Looking at it all laid out like this,
Jesus
5 or
Christ.
so years of drama and accusations, I think it should be clear to people who have watched this far that the explanatory variable in all those old clips was my stupid fucking debate bro brain. The obsession with inane hypotheticals and devil's advocates and shock value bullshit, which I employed because I thought using examples and comparisons that normies couldn't handle proved I was smart. It really is impossible to overstate how much I dislike the me in those clips, how I used to act in general. That being said, the terrible arguments and hypotheticals really were contained to those shock value debate bro moments.
Oh, wait, but they weren't actually contained because you had the weird Discord messages and the fucking weird lolly folder. So they weren't contained in just that, just the arguments. It was actually all these other compounding issues that lead people to the conclusions they have about you. Right, Vaush? Right?
And as I stopped being that kind of debate bro, the terrible arguments and hypotheticals stopped. And that's why just about every clip used against me is at least 4 years old. They're more or less contained to a period of time during which I employed a rhetorical style that I would describe as fucking stupid and insufferable. You know, even if the point I was making was fundamentally okay, I was also just way worse at communicating, which didn't help me. And that's another thing I'd like to stress. You know, if anything has been thoroughly, objectively, uncontroversially demonstrated in all of this, it's that I'm a loudmouth. I can't shut the fuck up. I have no filter, etc. Worse than it is now, but nonetheless, it's a character trait. But in all the hundreds of times that sex or sexuality or kink or whatever else has come up on stream, sometimes while I'm near blackout drunk from celebrating some event or another, you know, no filter, I've always been really, really blunt and consistent about what I'm actually into in people, whether it be people my height or people with big round glasses or people with really dark, tired looking eye circles or pronounced collarbones or...
Why are you... Why are you open about that, you fucking freak? God damn it. You should be bullied. If you openly like talk about like liking horse cocks and all this other shit, get bullied more. What is wrong with you? Are you is this what Vaush talks about with like his real life friends? He's like, oh yeah, I was looking at this fucking picture the other day and the girl had a massive horse cock. Okay, bro. Like, dude, end yourself in Minecraft. End your Minecraft world. End your hardcore Minecraft world right now. Holy fuck.
Aquiline noses or whatever else, you know. I know this is a low bar, but it's really weird to me because people accuse me of being a secret pedophile who accidentally let his mask slip by virtue of several months of extremely loud, abrasive, attention-grabbing, optically dogshit arguments, and yet also back then and now has been really consistent in wanting a girlfriend who looks like Reagan Ridley from Inside Job. You know, like that's a very novel way of letting the mask slip, right? Like,
Sure, bro.
you know, no.
Why wasn't Reagan Ridley in your fucking porn folder then? Why was it all these little girls? Buddy?
Filter whatsoever. Clearly a poor sense of how other people will, interpret his words at times. Not always the best communicator. And yet it's every time this happens, it's always contained to hyperbolic debate bro bullshit. It's always shock value, rhetorical bullshit, which again, like I know, low bar, right? But that, to me at least, that's the pattern. That's the clear pattern. And I don't do that anymore. I'm a lot better at making arguments than I used to be. I'm a lot less, I don't know, I'm not trying to deflect. I'm a lot less autistic than I used to be. I don't know.
No. Not true. I would say you've potentially grown in your autism factor.
At least marginally. These edgelord debate bro tendencies led me to think that the best way to construct my arguments and convince people that I was edgy and smart and blah, 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 was through the invocation of the kind of stuff that I have been dealing with the consequences of.
Dude, his glasses are really fucking with me. Look how fucked up is this? This is a fucking tangent, but how fucked up is this guy's vision? Where like I'm getting like a fucking what do you call it? Like a microscopic view of his fucking background when he turns his head slightly. How fucked up is this guy's vision, dude?
For 5 years, I more than anyone know the problems with those arguments. I just think that they indict me in different ways than people think they indict me. I think if nothing else, I think they just make me look like a fucking idiot. You know, I have one that I'm trying to be less of. Ideally, I would like that. I certainly don't think I act now the way I did then. I don't think 5 years from now I will
still do though. Literally anyone who watched his initial response stream where he just claims, "Oh, everything's out of context and everything is bad faith," like he still acts basically the same way. Do you just realize that maybe making all these weird pedophile arguments wasn't the best for his career? Okay.
At me now and think as poorly of me as I do looking at me 5 years ago. There has been some improvement. That's the charitable explanation. That's the best I can offer. I think I set the stage with that child labor argument. Me being who I am, I was always going to get on, people's nerves. And to an extent, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. A degree of abrasiveness, I think, is a necessary and endearing trait in some people. Cope, I know. But I think that a lot of the stuff that's happened in my career over the past 4 years has been tainted by the way I made those initial arguments. And a lot of
justifiably so. Justifiably so. You fucking deserve it. And I love how he felt no need to like address Poppy or any of these other like controversies that's been resurfaced over these past couple of days. It's just so obvious that this guy is a weird sex freak who fell down a fucking degenerate ass rabbit hole that led him to jerk off to furry horse lolly porn. Which then, because he's a weird sex freak who like can't control himself around women, literally around Poppy. It's fucking crazy, insane.
Stuff people throw at me, they wouldn't have thought to throw at me if it wasn't for that initial poisoning of the well. I think a lot of this is inertial. It builds up, and I don't know.
Yeah, and that's perfectly justifiable. Things build up as they fucking as more and more evidence, circumstantial evidence stacks. More and more people are going to be convinced. Obviously, just because there's nothing It's like James Charles, right? Like James Charles, like at first everyone was like, oh, well, I mean, he forgot to ask the age or whatever. There was like, I don't know, like a couple accusations, but then like more and more accusations came out as time went on where like he just like was not asking for the fucking age of all these like little boys. And it became very apparent that like he was potentially doing it maliciously, like not asking for the age maliciously because he just didn't want to know, right? And I mean, like, that's what's happening here, where it's like nothing like 100% concrete has been presented, but there's enough circumstantial stuff where I think it's completely fair to make a judgment call.
How to stop that inertia, right? I mean, people say, you talk about this often all the time, you CP on your stream. But well, here I am talking about it again. Will this be the last time, or will a month from now I'll be talking to someone and they'll be like, aren't you that pedophile? And what am I going to do? Stop the conversation and link them the video? Inertia is a difficult thing to stop. I think that's actually like the meaning of inertia, like definitionally. So I could opine at length about how a lot of the hate I get is inconsistent, and it's all a big popularity contest. And I'm an easy
he's just a big victim. He's a big
target,
old victim.
and people get upset with me for shit they'd write off if other people did it, and blah, blah. But pointing out all of those extremely true and correct facts, it doesn't solve the problem. I don't want to be disliked. I don't even really want to be controversial. I think the stuff that I advocate for is universally good. I want everyone to live a better life. People disagree about how to do that, but as long as you're on the path, as long as you think people being happy is a good thing to fight for, then I think there's at least some agreement to be had. I don't want to be controversial for that reason, or for a lot of the reasons. And it and my community are both a big source of pride for me. So I'd like it if everyone, or half of everyone, some proportion of everyone, could see it that way. There's not much I can do about the optics black hole, though.
Yeah, guys, I'm a good guy who likes good leftist things. I'm a good guy. I'm the good guy. Okay, why are you hating? Why am I getting hate? What the hell? What, you found the lolly horse porn, guys? I'm actually a good guy, though.
I don't expect this video will get much positive attention on release. I think it's going to be kind of broadly ridiculed, largely I think from folks trashing it who haven't actually watched it. This is something that I expect. This is something we all know will
I watched the entire video, Vaush, and I'm still trashing it, buddy.
Happen. Whether or not you agree with me on any of this, you know that'll happen. It's unfortunate, but I can't make that not happen. I can't like rewrite reality. So if I can't do that, then I just have to accept it. And I'm sure there will be like drama YouTubers who come over and pause every 2 seconds to talk about the like pedophilic contour of my frontal lobe or whatever. They'll just make a big laugh right out of it. Still, in spite of all of that, as best as
I've let the entire fucking video play, Vaush, and nobody is convinced. Oh yeah, they're just drama YouTubers who are gonna pause it every 2 seconds and like poison the well. Dude, motherfucker, no. It's your actions. Like, this guy is so fucking snaky, and like he like wants to escape accountability so fucking bad. It's insufferable. Bro, it's your own fucking actions, your own fucking arguments, your own fucking porn folder that has led people to believe this about you. You did this to yourself, bro. It's not drama YouTubers poisoning the well by like fucking pausing it every 2 seconds. You did this to yourself. It is your fault. Stop trying to avoid responsibility by like crying. Like you're literally a fucking baby, bro. Oh, they're just so bad faith and they're so mean and they pause every 2 seconds and wham, like fucking insufferable, man.
It's honest and straightforward, and I don't think there's much I can do besides present it that way and let people make their own judgments. So yeah, that's it. I'm done.
I made my own judgment, and you fucking suck.
All of the arguments about my past and how people perceive me and blah, blah, blah. I want to take a second here at the end to directly address just my audience, what I'm hoping for in the future and what I'm asking for from them. You can still watch if you want, but if you don't care, then you can leave without missing anything. So to my audience, thanks for sitting through the whole thing.
Okay. So I guess we're not going to watch that then. You can't fucking cry, okay, because you said that was explicit for your audience, so I'm not going to get much out of it. So I'm gonna take your word for it, Vaush, buddy, okay? I'm going to take your word for it. Lucky we have H3H3 responding. Yep, that's right. The content hasn't dried up quite yet. It's going to be a long night if you guys haven't already guessed, okay? I was banned for a week, and I'm ready to get back at it, all right? We're going all fucking night. And we have H3H3 responding to Vaush responding, okay?
A update video.
I'm going to have to put this
and he fast. Did post an update video. Now, I did not need a 2-hour video. It's like 2 hours long.
We're going to put up 0.5.
In my opinion, the video should just be like, you know what?
Ethan talks a little fucking faster, okay? A little slower.
I have issues.
Vaush, at least. It's
not normal. And frankly, I probably should get help for it.
True.
And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. But instead, he spent 2 hours trying to talk about how he is a great speaker. He does have a talent for orating. In another age, he could have been Adolf Hitler, probably.
True.
He could have easily. He could be. He's probably hailing Hitler back in alternate universe as we speak. But instead of that, we got 2 hours of him explaining that he's just edgy, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you watched the whole thing, AB. If you had to summarize it.
Yeah, so he goes by clip explaining it, and he says that these clips make him cringe and that they've haunted him since he said them. They were, most of them around 2018, 2019, and he didn't realize the harm in what he was saying. He didn't even realize how bad that looked to audiences outside of his own until he debated it with a bigger creator. And so he's trying to justify them. He says that they were cringe, they were bad.
He's actually the victim, guys, if you didn't know. He's actually the victim in this whole situation. People are just being mean to him. People are, because Ethan didn't watch the whole video. I mean, you don't have to watch the whole fucking video because it's a lot of rambling about nonsense, bro.
Pretty much.
I promise you guys, I am not a pedo. I want to make this very clear. Dude, you lost me already in that. I promise you guys, everybody listen, I'm not a pedo.
God, you gotta believe me, I'm not a pedophile. Bro, please. Please, I'm not. Guys, I'm not. That CP you found on my computer, bro, please, it's not true. I swear.
Here's the video. Let me pull it up just to give you an idea.
The child porn. It was a goof. It was a gaff. I was joking. Oh,
what we're dealing with here.
That would make sense. All that kind of stuff. That he was edgy back in the days, but we did see your.
What the fuck? That's
exactly. Thank you. It's fucking compounding issues.
I keep coming back to
on the hard drive.
And if he had made this video 2 months ago, it probably would have been a good move, right? To just like all at once address all these old clips of him that have been floating around. But like now the circumstances.
No,
are
he
different.
just wanted to avoid it until his hand was basically forced by H3.
It's pretty different now, isn't it?
And there's more things coming up now. Someone found what is in the video folder. People found out the tiny sliver of the thumbnail.
I saw that, and I looked into it a bit, and I wasn't sure if it was something or nothing.
I don't know either, but I saw like a short clip, and now people are digging into
I think
that.
I watched the
more.
same thing you saw.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So,
but I mean, listen. At the end of the day, the folder kind of you can't let him take you on this trip, this 2-hour journey of interweaving excuses and contextualized stuff. None of that. I mean, listen. The folder just end the story. Let me just play you guys here.
Cheers, my horse.
You know what? I want to show you guys the new stuff before.
Cheers, my horse. No pedo.
Let me pepper his excuses with some new stuff. First, let's remember what I like to call the 1-2 punch.
Right now, we've all jerked at Delali at some point or another. We have all at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like, oh jeez.
Oh boy.
All right, see, this is a bad idea on Ethan's part though, because then he's just gonna play this and be like, oh look, he just watched the out of context clip again.
These
like,
girls
just
look
watch
pretty
his
young.
video.
Okay. I don't
so
give a
that
fuck,
you can't
right?
get any bitching from Vaush fans.
What was his excuse for that one? But anyway,
his excuse was that it's just a joke. He's like, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke.
You take this clip and then you connect the dots and it's GG.
Nice. Okay. Next question. Simulated child porn. Lolly stuff?
I think it's pretty sussy.
What's that?
I think that if you have an interest in that sort of stuff, you should definitely be checking yourselves to why. You know, like the thing that really bothers me about this shit, apart from the fact that anytime you want to look at like hentai on a hentai site, you have to like negate the tag lolly and thus 50%.
So he says here, interestingly, he goes back that he negates the tag lolly, but his excuse for having the lolly stuff is that he was just downloading stuff willy-nilly from this website. Willy-nilly? Will it be wobbly?
I think it's pretty sussy for some of the site's content. The thing that bothers me is people who pretend there's no relationship whatsoever between like drawn lolly shit and actual attraction to children. Because of course there's a relationship between those things. It's ridiculous to pretend otherwise.
So I mean, but let me show you the new stuff that
we've all jerked
had my jaw on the
floor.
Let's see. He did not address the context here. Can I open this? Oh yeah, dude. Okay, so this is all new stuff. This one is not that bad, but it's just another one. I mean, it's bad. For anybody, it's bad. For him, it's not.
I always want to discuss this really interesting article I read about sexual dynamics of pre-colonial Hawaiian civilization. Because they sure had no problem fucking kids, and the anthropomorphical evidence seemed to suggest that it wasn't a culture of child abuse.
Not bad.
Wow.
But it's just another on the giant pile. This is new. I've always wanted to discuss this really interesting article I read about the sexual dynamics of pre-colonial Hawaiian civilization, because they sure had no problem fucking kids, and the anthropological evidence seemed to suggest there wasn't a culture of child abuse. New
what
as
does that
in
even mean? If you're fucking a kid, that's child abuse, bro.
I'm just seeing this for the first time. It's from 2018, not that long ago. Again,
I mean, actually, to be fair, 2018 is like fucking 6 years ago. That's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Persistent interest. Here he is. This one is nuts.
Yeah.
So now, presumably, it's alleged that this is him. I haven't seen him try to deny it. This is his user, Irish Laddie. That's what he was known as.
Yeah.
Before he switched his name to Vaush. I think in part he changed his name because of all these scandals, right? That's what I read. And here is a backup of an AMA request in which he wanted to ask people. He was seeking AMA request, an active participant in bestiality, as long as we're keeping with the theme of sexual deviancy. So he wants to talk to people who are participating in bestiality.
Dude, oh, this is fucking disgusting. Like, if you pair, dude, I don't even know about this. If you pair this with like the fucking screenshots of him talking about having the lizard on his dick and like how he like wanted to, that's actually really gross. Somebody should take away his lizards. This is actually making me kind of sick. What the fuck? Because like, he has these why are you taking a picture of a lizard on your dick if you're not getting some sort of sexual pleasure out of it? And also, like, I assume he's I assume he says he put the lizard on his dick. I assume that implies that he's like sexually aroused and he's hard, so the lizard is like on it, right? Dude, what the fuck? Somebody should seriously go into this guy's house and take his fucking lizards. He is a fucking zoophile, a disgusting one at that. At this point, I firmly fucking believe he has abused the lizards in his house, and he should have them taken away as soon as fucking possible. What the fuck?
And sexual deviancy.
Assuming this is real, okay? This might be fake or some shit, and then I'll have egg on my face.
First question, how do you cope with yourself when you discover your fetish? 2, do you feel sick or worthless or anything like that? 3, do you agree with how society and law views bestiality? 4, do you find different animals more or less attractive? Or is it a blanket thing like dogs are better than horses, which are better than pigs or something? Or is it just animals in general? Have you told any friends and family? How did they react? This, again, when you put it all together, it's crazy. The picture is wild, dude. But that's not even the worst. Here's a comment in that thread. Oh, and as an honest aside question, how the fuck does horse girl sex work or horse gay gentleman sex? I understand what happens. I just don't understand how it happens.
Getting fucked by a horse.
That's it, man. He continues. He says...
It's actually sickening, bro. What the fuck?
Oh, this is from our sex. Or that was the AMA was there. How so? It had brown shoulders. I mean, I like girls having sex with horses, and that wasn't there, but, you know, within reason. What was the context of that? I feel like something's cut out here. It's just a weird
Cheers, my horse.
Not sure, let me look.
Context.
Yeah, I feel like I saw one with more context, but anyway.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
He says, he responded to another person, oh, well played. Would you suck off a horse?
Get the fuck out.
Okay, and then another one. Okay, I see you're into some weird-ass bestiality stuff. Be honest with me here. Would you take it in the ass from a horse?
God, what the...
Well, I don't want to jump to conclusions.
That's why I'm showing all this. How are some of you unironically mad?
The Bo Black sound bites are pretty based, I can't lie. This is awesome.
You're such losers. It's just a horse. Mods, you can change it back. Thank you for keeping it going for a while, though. I like the horse posting. It was a good era. So there's an AMA of him
wow, dude,
asking intimate details about sexual deviance and bestiality and seeming to show some interest in it.
He says in his new video, by the way, that he's done with the underage jokes that he gets from chat. They could continue with the horse jokes. Those are funny. He thinks those are funny, but not the underage.
Because for him, it's like, I don't want to fuck kids. I just want to fuck horses. Yeah. And like, that's not as bad, frankly.
I just want to be the horse and I want to fuck a kid and then I want to fuck an animal.
Yep. But it's still really fucked up. Like the horse thing by itself would destroy most people. But if he can convince people, no, I just want to fuck animals, not kids, that's a huge dub for him. Mm-hmm. Never before was that a dub. Until now.
Hello, Vaush. You have to cool it with the horse stuff.
Here is a Discord message between him and Poppy that I had not seen. This is the girl that he sexually harassed in Discord. He said to her, Poppy said, she kept commenting how young I looked and scolding my ex, which made it 100 times weirder. Vaush responded, I do imagine you looking like a lolly. Now remember, this is the girl that he's pursuing aggressively, and he imagines her like a lolly. And we're not talking about crossing guards in England.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro. It's weird how none of this was addressed in Vaush's video.
Here's the worst one. Okay. This is the one that put my jaw on the floor.
Okay.
I was speechless, literally. This one's pretty bad. I mean, this one's disturbing, I'll be real. So step away if you need to. Here he is talking in a Discord chat. I'm going to read the chat. Yeah. He starts off by saying, if you really...
I mean, ultra charitability, this is an edgy joke. But, I mean, with everything else we've seen, the compounding fucking... the compounding evidence... You know, I don't blame anyone for not thinking this is a joke. This is fucking disgusting.
Want to fuck children. Wait 20 years for VR lolly porn and don't tell anybody you use it. He continues. And especially don't defend it online. Well, he broke his own rule. And then he says, that's the best we can all hope for.
Oopsie.
The we part is crushing me. Like I was reading this, and then when I hit that last line, I was like, ooh, what? One more time. He says, wait 20 years for lolly VR porn. That's the best that we can hope for.
Fussy.
And I mean,
Now,
again, this wasn't addressed to that video we just watched. Weird, bro.
We as society, would benefit from people just doing that instead of abusing kids.
Who is
which I think
we?
pretty much disabused or
He can't address it as suicide. I mean, yeah.
Disavailed. I'm trying to think of a word, but that's not even true because the consumption of CP, drone or otherwise, only encourages these deviant behavior more.
Yeah, and Vaush agrees with that. He said that.
He said that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. This one really fucked me up. I don't know how you beat that one. I'm sure if he had to explain it, he'll just say,
true, normal people don't fucking think this much about lolly.
I was talking about society, but I don't buy that.
He has a section in his video about Discord messages. This one wasn't in there. He said that he left some out because either they were fake or he doesn't remember the context because it's been so long.
They were fake? All right. I'm curious which ones are fake. I'd like for you to
Yeah,
point out.
actually, that's a good point. He didn't show one fucking example of a fake message. I would have loved to see that. He's just a big old victim. He's a big victim, guys. There's fake stuff out there, and people are smearing me. I'm a victim.
No.
Yeah.
If you really want to fuck children, wait 20 years for VR lolly porn and don't tell anybody you use it. And especially don't defend it online. That's the best we can all hope for.
Well, Vaush didn't take his own advice there, buddy.
Again, you added this to the pile, and it's like, I don't know. So let's see what he has to say. Let's see if he's going to convince me.
Now, without further ado, let's get to the content. We'll start with the absolute worst of it, the monstrously stupid argument that I made way back when I first started streaming that has since haunted me and irreparably tarnished my reputation. Now, this clip is the one that I see cited most often when people are accusing me of being a pedophile. That's not even a little surprising to me, though. It sounds pretty bad. In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I get to hear a convincing moral or legal argument. That's why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
Let's how he labels it. He says, this is the out of context clip. So he's still trying to do this silly game, but let's see.
Actual child pornography. Like I said, pretty bad. This clip is from right after I started streaming. So
I mean, exactly. Ethan watched the entire context, and he came to the same conclusion I did when I watched the full context, and it's like, you're a fucking freak.
Significant portion of my career as a live streamer has been spent providing context for...
Yeah.
Hitting the ground running.
Right.
With that one.
For the clip over and over to many people and many audiences. I've addressed it so many times that it's turned into like a kind of running joke in my community.
Very
like
funny. I love jokes about pedophilia. Those are my favorite.
Rape,
me and my community, the ones who will defend me no matter what, that are the ones that are defending lolly. We love that joke. That's our favorite.
Cursed to keep walking into over and over. It hits me in the head. I often see people outside of my community, people who have seen this clip but not seen me address it, mock the idea that any context that I or anyone else could provide could possibly...
You just need to be 2 hours. Give me the context and stop with the fucking grandstanding, bro.
Explain
exactly. He just fucking yap. Like, he's hoping that his audience will just click off the video because he fucking talks for so fucking long and it's so fucking dragged on and so fucking boring. Like, bro, just fucking get in and show the context.
Something that sounds that bad. When they see me or my fans...
If he really wanted to convince anyone, he knows nobody's going to watch 2 fucking hours of this shit.
Exactly.
Let's get it snappy. 20 minutes max.
And now he can say, oh, you didn't watch the whole video?
No, AB watched the whole video. I've watched enough. Frankly, we know what's in it.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched it like 3 times. So I'm still not fucking getting it. What am I missing? What's new here? Still the same shit, pretty much. I feel like it was meant for his audience.
Yes.
He says at the end, he goes, I'm sorry to my fans that I made it so hard to be a fan of me. So I think he knows that no one's going to fuck with him after the recent shit, and he's just telling his audience don't leave, pretty much.
It's an audience retention play.
Yeah.
And it seems like for the most part, it's worked. 22,000 likes, the vast majority of likes, 400,000 views.
Fucking disgusting.
And most of the comments seem to be supportive.
Yeah, when I checked, they were supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Not all. He's deleting a lot of comments. Just sort by newest, and it's a bloodbath.
So I find that all pretty fucking wild. But go on.
Say that this or any other clip has been taken out of context, it comes across to them as an effort to shoo away legitimate suspicion. Chastising people for having an opinion on something that looks bad. Like, you see a clip that looks bad.
Just show me what the fucking clip was out of context.
Exactly.
He's doing this on purpose.
Of me, and then I or a fan of mine comes in and we're like, no, you need to familiarize yourself with like 50 hours of stream lore before you can have an opinion on that. I have seen people weaponize calls for context in that way, so I don't fault others for being like kind of suspicious of that or not taking it very seriously. Some people are just going to tune out right there. Now, don't get me wrong,
bro. When are you going to make a fucking point?
Exactly, dude.
Get on with it. He goes, this is out of context. I'm waiting.
Bad. It's rhetorically bad. It's logically bad. It's obviously optically bad. And the broader argument that's pulled from are bad. All of those things too. But as for what the clip and the argument that's pulled from say about me, I would like to make the case, if I may, that it does implicate me, but not as a pedophile, rather as a fucking idiot debate bro brain poison.
I mean, it does both. It does both.
True. True.
Jackass, because I took a perfectly fine argument. I think
Why did he
that,
just, like,
when I
bump
explain
up
it,
there? What the
the
fuck?
argument itself will make perfect
Explain
sense to me.
it!
And I
Explain it now!
Talk about the
What is all this?
allegations.
What's the point of this video? What is all of this right now I'm watching?
It's to bore out his. It's just to fucking bore out all of his main audience, right? He doesn't want them to see it. It's fucking embarrassing. It makes him look fucking terrible. So he just wants to bore his audience to death. So they don't actually watch it. They just watch a little bit in, and then they like it, and then they just leave.
How am I supposed to find the context, bro?
It ruined it with edgy, contrarian, devil's advocate nonsense. So let me explain.
Please.
I just started live streaming, and I was far more
He
argumentative.
just
and belligerent.
started, guys. That makes it so much better. How fucking old is Vaush? He was definitely an adult when he started live streaming. Okay, I can understand like maybe like a retarded kid, like fucking the Harley TBS situation where like they made some fucking retarded ass argument when they were a kid. But bro, you're a whole ass adult and you're saying this fucked up shit.
And arrogant than I am now, if you can believe that. Over the background of my mediocre Dead Cells gameplay, an argument with chat on the subject of foreign labor and unethical production was getting increasingly heated. Just in case anyone watching doesn't know, many of the products that we buy from American companies...
Oh, you're not going to do this whole fucking thing.
Jesus.
Who's watching this? I can't finish it. I can't. I have too much sympathy for the audience. I just feel bad for everybody who's trying to have to watch this bullshit. Should I keep watching? Maybe. I mean, what the fuck?
Like again, it's the same thing. I feel like he's already justified this before. We've watched his justification. It's the same shit pretty much. There's a few points where he talks about like the context is cut off of one of these clips, and so he goes, "Here's the full context."
The entire chat is expanded. Move on. 2 times speed.
We showed all the context, people. Anyway, Vaush, I'm going to speed you up. Okay. So I'm going to give you a shot to speak for yourself to the people, to defend yourself. I'm going to put you at 1.5. You are talking kind of slow, so it should work out. Let's see.
Are produced through supply chains that take advantage of what we could consider unethical business practices, like bad workers' rights stuff. Often this takes the form of sweatshop labor, a practice near ubiquitous, for example, in the garment industry, where sewing work is difficult to fully automate. This isn't just a foreign problem, though. There are garment sweatshops where workers make less than $2 an hour, operating right now in Los Angeles, as an example. It's a broad issue. But American companies profit from even worse abuses. The mining of cobalt and the harvesting of chocolate and palm
I don't want to hear
oil.
about cobalt mining from him anymore.
Use of child labor, frequently child slavery, frankly. In practice, often child
Fucking
slavery.
cobalt, bro. No, guys, no, the fucking cobalt. Think about the child slaves. This is the child slave mining all your fucking cobalt. Okay, he's fucking 30 hours, fucking 60 hours a week for $2. Okay. Look at his face. This is what you're doing, okay? When you buy a fucking computer so you can have you can live and have a normal life, this is who you're hurting, okay? You are hurting this fucking child.
American companies profit enormously from this because these abusive work conditions, it keeps the cost of harvesting materials, acquiring raw product relatively low. And as a consequence of this, the suffering of children is built into the fabric of our economy, of exploited workers broadly.
But we've heard him do all this.
Yeah.
He's just talking at greater length and just filibustering harder.
It's, again, the all lives matter.
Filibuster. That's perfect word for this.
CP, pretty much. And he says he doesn't believe this way anymore, but this is what
Maybe
I don't need to
Vaush is
watch
a
it. I know exactly what he's
politician.
going to fucking say. It's just so boring.
He has if you want to go to the lolly clip, he addresses that.
Sorry, listen, Vaush. I know you and your fans are gonna look at this like he didn't even watch it. I know your argument. I know what you're saying. I've watched you already explain it 1,000 different ways. I don't need to watch you filibustering it for 10 fucking minutes to my poor audience who they come to us for entertainment. They come to watch. I try to actually make a point or do something.
What's your argument?
Okay.
That's all I have to say. All right, so this one is interesting. Actually, we caught him out a little bit. Here he is describing we've all jerked it to the lolly clip. So let's see what's the context here.
All right, next clip. We've all jerked at the lolly at some point or another. We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like,
Cringe
oh, geez.
warning.
Oh, boy. Some of these girls look pretty young. This one definitely sounds rougher than the last two clips, but it's it's a bit. It's a joke.
No, what the fuck's the joke?
It's a joke.
Go then.
I can explain it. I don't think
It's a
that'll make it.
joke, guys. But I mean, oftentimes when you make a joke, there is some level of truth to it, right? Like that. Like it would be based off of personal experience. If I'm being ultra uncharitable, right? Like I could say, like, oh, whenever I make a joke, like it is based in like something that I've observed, something that's happened to me. So yeah.
Any funnier?
Jokes aren't spawned out of nowhere.
The intended comedy element of an indiscriminate whirlwind masturbator being used to draw attention to a problem.
You are that
problem being
indiscriminate whirlwind masturbator, though, as proven by your fucking porn folder. Even by your own, like, if I accept your fucking weird ass, like, retarded argument where, like, you say, oh, I didn't even realize there was a kid in that image and I fucking downloaded it. You would be that whirlwind, like, porn masturbator, and you would, that, still an admission that you jerk off to kids, right? You can make a joke about something that's true. Exactly.
Of lolicon in hentai sites. I don't really know how anyone could get like a serious vibe from that. Like there's any kind of like, you know, grave point being made. Again, it's not a funny joke at all. I mean,
what the fuck? I
think it's pretty sussy.
That's just bullshit. Hey guys, I was just kidding on that one.
Nah.
What?
Nah, you just don't get it, dude.
What?
Joking alert. I mean, I've made some jokes before, bro, but like,
You're too stupid. You're too much of a cretin, a mongrel, if you will.
I saw a lot of people up and down the internet saying that they thought this video was good.
That's not like just out of context. Then he's just adding lore at this point, just lying.
I was kidding.
Yeah,
it was actually commentary about Lolly.
You thought you caught him out, admitting to watching Lolly, but really he was doing activism.
You caught yourself.
He was raising awareness.
Actually, if we don't let Vaush jerk off to lolly porn, Joe Biden, he's gonna lose the election, guys. Yeah. If we don't let him jerk off to horse lolly porn, Joe Biden is gonna lose the election, and we cannot have that. Okay.
Then
he's like, God, who's been to lolly.com and gone to this subgenre? And it's like describing his preference.
Isn't this even the clip where he shushes his girlfriend? Where tries to interrupt him.
Might have been.
Yeah.
You don't have a dick.
Yeah, she's like, don't. And he's like, you don't have a dick.
Yeah. He's so furious. We gotta get through this message.
I will say the only thing that I didn't initially see was in the Mr. Girl call when he was debating that one dude. He did hang up on him, and he did say that guy's either a pedo or he's really good at acting like one.
By the way, YouTube, I just said lolly.com. It's not a real website. Don't fuck with me. This is all it is.
Sussy.
I didn't know that when I said it, but I wanted to make sure. It's nothing. This is the whole website.
Okay.
They're obviously looking for a high bidder, Vaush. If you're
He fucking looked at you pedophile. You looked it up. You looked up lolly.com. Pedophile.
they're parking on this beautiful domain.
We've all jerked at the lolly at some point or another.
So go on, Vaush. Tell me how funny the joke was.
Cringe looking at it. It's great evidence against me if the point that people are trying to make is that I was or indeed still am cringe. So the point of their
No,
favor,
that's not the point. I don't care if you're cringe,
bro.
bro. Who's this?
Well, that's also
being a pedo is pretty cringe.
Yeah, you could be.
I mean, that's
I just realized this is on Louder with Crowder.
Not the
Is
great.
that what that says?
The great charge
Yeah,
here.
right.
Question.
Yeah.
We're not debating if he's cringe.
Right, yeah.
You're right.
You know,
That's not
let's.
up for debate.
This is right. Sure.
Idea that pedophilia is just another sexual orientation,
Citation needed.
like being gay or straight.
Oh my gosh.
Stop discrimination.
Citation needed.
It's time to be more tolerant of demons who feed on kids.
I do take issue with the moral outrage here. Child sexual abuse is widely underreported. It's a huge
This
problem. It's
shit
incredibly
again,
damaging to the
man.
psyche of young people, and as they grow older, it can lead to many negative mental health consequences. However,
This bro was like, I'm going to react to a clip of a conservative conspiracy theorist raving about how liberals are sexualizing children. I'm going to respond to this by comparing CP to Cobalt production. That'll show him.
That's his ass.
That'll get him.
You eat chocolate?
Fuck.
Well, then what I do is not that bad, is it?
Also, this is a nice clip, right? I haven't seen this one.
I actually haven't seen this.
Nonsense web.
Thank you.
Exactly.
No, I've seen this clip, but I haven't seen this.
Pedo's
concept.
web.
Well, I actually am interested.
Okay.
This is the one where, yeah.
pedophilia, to the extent that we are calling them demons, probably discourages pedophiles, people who feel attraction towards children, from getting the help they could need to keep themselves from abusing children. By demonizing them to this extent, you are increasing the likelihood of child sexual abuse.
I don't want to be that guy, you know, but like the ponytail is screaming to me. There's nothing wrong with ponytail. There's nothing wrong with ponytail. Although ponytail, huh?
I will say though, the ponytail, it is at least better than what he has now with like the comb over, just because it doesn't work with his like widow's peak, right? Like the widow's peak and the comb over combo just looks fucking awful.
Wants to be the horse. I don't know, this cut,
Fucked by a horse.
this haircut that he has, and I love ponytails, you know, in a normal setting, but it's speaking, it's doing talking.
Sussy.
It's sussy. I can't say that
I mean, it's you know.
because it wasn't just the. Okay, all right, maybe I'm off base. Maybe not.
Not demonize pedophiles. Demonize child sexual abuse and encourage pedophiles to get help. Now, if you've got pedophiles who have never sexually abused a child, but they're advocating for it, they're like, yeah, I've never done it, but is there anything really that wrong with lowering the age of consent to 13? Then of course, fuck them. Like, fucking shut them up. Just fucking smack them. But by and large, statistically speaking, there are 370 people watching right now. I'd be willing to bet that at least 20 or 30 of them experience habitual sexual attraction towards children. It's surprisingly
Make it 21, because I'm one of them.
common. To those of you who do, to an extent that you feel as though it may be like a problem, please, just get some fucking help, my dude. There's
We
nothing
saw
wrong with
this
you.
and we're like, oh, that was good. We're like, that was good that you said that, but something changed.
As a person, we can't help the shit that we're into. We can help our actions. There's nothing feels weird, man, about this. You can't help the things that you're into. If you realize as you're like 20 years old that you have a thing for kids, what the fuck do you do? Commit fucking Sudoku? Do you just stop existing right then and there? Do you talk?
Again, this goes back to my question about like, I have a feeling, and I don't understand the psychology of it, that the attraction to children is in itself immoral because the attraction is to the power and control and like the stealing of innocence and stuff. Otherwise, I don't understand. I don't understand it at all. So like, Is that a real person? I don't know. I haven't heard from anyone who's like, I was just born this way. I'm attracted to kids. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm 20 years old. This is just who I am, and there's nothing to do about it.
Yeah, because those people, like, they should feel shame, because it is very shameful that you have that attraction. And you know what? The best solution for those people is just get, like, castrated. That's the best solution, honestly. Honestly, I would feel some level of respect for a pedophile who gets chemically castrated or castrated in some other manner, because that's, like, really the only way to 100% guarantee that, nothing ever happens.
Like that, is that a real thing? Who is that person? I don't know. I'd like to know if it is or not. I'm genuinely curious.
I think that only comes after they get caught. That's usually
true.
What they'll try to
That's
think,
true.
or whatever.
Like part of being attracted to kids, I feel like it's the willingness to do it. And part of it is I don't know. It seems pathological. Like it's not that simple.
Kids love Hitler.
It's just really twisted. I don't know.
Was that Nick Fuentes? What the fuck?
Toss yourself in front of a car? No. You have to live your life anyway. And you have to recognize, if you're a responsible person, like, hey, even if I just keep this to myself, like, this might affect people someday, I should probably maybe see what I can do about that. Talk to somebody. Okay.
Wait, this wasn't the worst clip, though. This one was mild compared to the other stuff we saw. Here he is talking about, I thought that it was this one, AB. It's C1?
Yeah.
Let me see this part.
We've all jerked at Delali at some point or another. We have at some point.
Didn't I already watch this?
That's when you watch, and then under that's where we
Okay,
watched it.
so here we are watching it in the full context. But wait, there's something missing from his video.
We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like, oh, jeez.
Oh,
boy. Some of these girls look pretty young. Okay, I don't give a fuck, all right?
He cut out the part when he showed it. He cut out the part where he says, I don't give a fuck. Kind of interesting,
That is an interesting little tidbit.
Like
we've all jerked it to low.
Change the full context of it, but it certainly doesn't help. And he's not going to be able to say he did it.
Yeah, and that makes it seem like less of a joke, too, when he says, I don't give a fuck. It makes it sound like you actually don't give a fuck. Ethan is 100% correct here. That's crazy. He's trying to accuse other people of taking him out of context when he took himself out of context there to make it seem as if it's some joke when it is clearly not. I mean, like, why would he cut that out? Seriously.
For brevity, because the fucking video's 2 hours long of him just rambling.
At some point or another. We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like, oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Some of these girls look pretty young. Yeah, this one...
I mean, it does change it a bit, right? No, we have...
Okay, I don't give a fuck.
Most definitely
oh, boy. Some of these girls look
it
pretty
seems
young.
more proud.
It's more like, yeah, I do that, and I'm cool with it. It's like, I mean, you should include that part if you're trying to address it totally.
Exactly, true.
It's a little trickery.
Okay, I don't give a fuck, all right?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I don't know. What was his context for that one?
Damn, my legs. Fucking...
watching the lolly one? I don't know.
They hurt, bro.
Here he is, unironically hot. I don't know. Are any of these worth watching?
I'd say these last two.
I topped it a little more. Good. On to the next one. Okay, so this one actually is bad, and I've apologized for it a few times. Basically, here I'm doing that thing that guys do where, a hot female teacher will be arrested for raping a student, and the guys in the Facebook comment section will be like, where was she when I was that age? Could have used me some of that. And basically, like, the thing they do where they downplay and trivialize the sexual abuses of the teacher because they personally think it would have been cool if they could have slept with their hot teachers back when they were 14. And yeah, when I was 14, I also wanted to fuck my hot teachers, obviously. But 14-year-olds are idiots. Their interests, desires, and preferences shouldn't really be accounted as a solid moral argument to anything. So this screenshot isn't really missing any context. It actually is shitty, but I've since come around on this, and I've recognized how bad it is to downplay or idealize that kind of thing. So
what do you mean? He came around to understanding that it's fucking weird to say unironically hot to a minor having sex with a teacher. Bro, what year was that from? That's that screenshot. How old is that shit? Here, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. Almost everything is 2018. There's like a couple 2017, a couple 2019.
How old was he in 2018?
Let's see.
Again, it's the totality, dude. It's like 1, 2, this, that. We could do it. We could look past it.
He was roughly 23, 24.
It's
fucked an adult as a minor, unironically hot. God, he really put his whole body and soul out there to support that.
Freak alert.
Okay, so what's his excuse? Everybody wants to fuck their teacher?
Yeah, it was a joke. And I mean, to be fair, this is pretty. I mean, it is kind of like this is kind of it's just it reads off as a joke. I would be willing to accept this as a joke.
Back when just don't fucking get 14. With like half this shit. It just seems like he's just I was just being edgy and trying to say the most crazy thing I could to get a reaction out of people. But I was trying to make a point that.
And then I also had lolly in my porn folder.
And says that everything is bad.
This dude said everyone jerks off at lolly was a joke. What the fuck's the joke? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, when I was 14, I
Okay,
also
go
had a
ahead.
moral argument to anything. So this screenshot isn't really missing any context. It
good.
actually is shitty, but I've since come around on this, and I've recognized how bad it is to downplay or idealize that kind of thing. So, I've been consistent about that for years now on my
And
channel.
that's fine if we didn't see a lolly folder and everything else.
Exactly. Oh my god, I don't understand what is so hard for Vaush fans. Like, how does Tipster watch something like this and he come away like, oh yeah, I understand. Vaush is like a totally normal guy. We have to give him charitability, guys. We have to be nice. Charitability. Like, bro.
And then
It's
there's one more
exhausting,
here.
bro.
Vaush talks about the recent folder leak. Oh, jeez.
Right. So after all that, now we finally arrive at this most recent drama, the incident that lit a fire under Drama YouTube, and is, in my mind, the only thing I've done in the past 4 years that actually looks bad. It's pretty fucking embarrassing, to say the least. So there I was, streaming a few weeks ago, browsing a men's fashion site. I wanted to look at an image more closely, so I right-clicked to open the image in a new window, but then accidentally instead clicked the Save As tab in the right-click drop-down menu. Now, because
nobody needs this level of. This is how you know he's filibustering, because he just fucking goes on and on. Oh well, actually, I meant to click the Save As, but then I clicked I meant to click Open it. Like, just say you accident. The only amount of context we need is that you accidentally showed your porn folder on stream. That is the only amount of context we need, and it's so obvious you're including all these other extra fucking hyper-specific details just to filibuster, and it's fucking insufferable.
As has been extensively demonstrated in this video, a fucking idiot.
That's his defense. I recall quite frequently too. Is I'm just an idiot, you guys. I'm not a pedo. I'm just an idiot. Which
Just
again
a
is much better than
retard.
being a pedo. Even fucking a horse, like we said, it's way better. You'd be like the dumbest horse fucker ever. That's way better than being a pedo.
Sussy.
Somehow.
My preferred strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to keep a single big folder called To Be Sorted, where every image, document, music file, whatever I happen to download gets sent. This is an insane thing to have as a live streamer, but, there you go. It's me.
Everybody
So
fucking knows it's an insane thing to have, bro. You don't have to clarify everything you say.
Save as, and
we
a
know
half
you're
second later,
retarded.
a preview
We're very
window of the folder
fucking
and its
aware.
contents popped up on stream. And now, of course, that
Not a
folder had
groomer,
porn in it. So I
just a
immediately ended
loser.
the stream
I mean,
and
literally-
deleted the body.
Dude. I mean, that is kind of his response where he's like, oh, I'm not a pedo. I'm just like a cringe loser fucking weirdo.
Even if it weren't just embarrassing to make a mistake like that as one of the largest political live streamers on the platform, it's TOS. You got to delete the VOD. So I stream with no delay, and folks are always screen capturing the feed. So I knew the contents of my To Be Sorted folder and the preview window were irrevocably public knowledge. But to be honest, that didn't really bother me too much. It was embarrassing, sure, but
bro, what the fuck? I don't
mostly.
What's his point? What does he say? When does he get to the point?
Bro's just yapping, to be honest.
He's just yapping. What is he trying to hypnotize people into like thinking that he's not a deviant?
Pretty easy for people to lie about what it contained, to stir up drama or cause me trouble or for any other reason. So when later on in that stream, 1 or 2 people came to chat and they said, hey, there was lolly in there. I figured they were just causing trouble and I banned them. Of course, we know where this is going. By the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that 2 of the images.
Bro, there's no shot that as soon as that happened, he didn't go straight in that folder and think, what did I just show everybody?
Exactly.
There's no, the first thing that motherfucker did is turned off his stream, which I get. If it's porn, not deviant, weird shit. You go in the folder and you say, what did I just do? I need to understand the damage. He knows exactly what he leaked. He looked at each fucking one of them and started being like, okay, I got to explain this shit.
True.
He's a smart guy. Anyone would do that, though. Even an idiot would do that. So, like, he's like, I just deleted it and was like, I'm going to go start a stream again. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit. Fuck that.
In my folder preview window, were actually from a well-known lolicon artist, and therefore definitely intended to be lolly shit, which has to be the worst possible way to find out about that sort of thing. No.
So he just found out about it.
So I love how he amends this from his original stream, because his original stream he was like, I totally reject that one of these images were lolicon. But now he says, oh well, I can accept that they were both lolicon. Like, god damn, this guy is such a little fucker.
But he's trying to like kind of change it. Oh, these pictures were made by a lolly artist.
He's just trying to test what he can get away with at this point. It's fucking
lolly.
gross.
It was lolly.
Here's the thing. He's really hedging his argument on the notion that his audience have not seen the pictures in that.
Exactly, true.
Because there's a
true.
ton of room. Do you have that Trump soundbite of him? I'm just finding out for the first time. That's him. That's Vaush when he finds lolly.
Dude, that's my favorite clip of all time.
That was Ian sent that note. That was very good.
I have no knowledge of any of this. This is so bizarre.
Oh, that was you, Dan.
Yeah.
That was great, Dan. I'm just, it's a lolly. Oh,
You just died?
wow. There's no shot that's true. But yeah, a lot of this hinges on the fact that his audience is not willing to go look at the images and see what they are. Because again, when you do that, I don't think there's a single person that hasn't gone and done that and be like, oh, fuck this. You know what I mean?
Sussy.
And he kind of brushes it off too at a point because he's kind of like, oh, some photos going around weren't even the right ones. There's just some were just completely made up.
Which ones then? If
Right.
that helps you,
Exactly.
tell me which.
Like, and that would help his argument too if he showed that. But there, like, that's not happening, so he's not going to show it, right? Like, it would immensely help his argument if he could show examples of people faking shit and people actually misrepresenting him. But he's not going to do that because it's not really happening on a large scale. Maybe you can find like one tweet with like 2 likes or some shit like that. You know?
No.
Obviously, the accusation here isn't just that I had those images saved. That part's true, not really an accusation, but also that I must have known that they were lolicon and saved them because they were lolicon. Now, the obvious and predictable, but nonetheless true response from me is that no, I didn't know that, and that must not have been the impression I got from those two drawings.
There's
Because
no
if I
need
had
to fake any of this.
gotten that impression, then I wouldn't have saved them. You know, I mean, drawings are.
Dude, saving them, he must have loved those images.
An impression from an image.
Also, it's like it looks. There's no. It looks like young.
I looked at that
anime
shit. Yeah,
characters,
that's just yeah.
It's no question.
Again, this works if you haven't seen the images.
Sussy.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen the images, then you can believe this.
You need
Abstraction.
to know an image to save it.
You gotta
Yeah,
love an image
true.
to
You
save
gotta
it.
love the image
yeah,
to save it.
Yeah.
And art styles and body proportions vary massively, even for characters.
He makes
that
it sound like he looked at it for like half a second.
unambiguously.
Yeah,
adults.
it's like he's trying to describe it as if he's just like scrolling by on some porn site and it just happened to pop up and he like looked at it and like, oh no, and then kept scrolling. Not what happened, bro.
It doesn't mean lolly shit isn't a thing or a problem. I've bitched about it being a problem like a lot on stream. It just means that
Guys, I've complained about pedophiles before, so I can't be one, right, guys? Like I've said pedophiles bad on all these other times. Like, there's no way I'd be jerking off to lolly porn, guys. I've said it's bad. I said it, dude. Come on.
carelessly or inattentively failing to notice it isn't exactly impossible. You know, I know what some people are going to say. You know, no, you must have known. There's no way you didn't know. And like what am I going to do? Make a fucking evidentiary argument here? You know, like I'm not putting up the images so we can argue about the pixels or the proportions or whatever. I know fully well that like 99.9% of people who have heard about this drama haven't seen the images, nor do I think.
And that is so much to your benefit, my friend.
Yeah. Right.
That helps. That's the only thing saving you.
And 99% of people don't download the porn they're watching.
And fucking saving images, that's like serious spank bank.
Yes.
That's like, this image is bomb as fuck. Now, I'm not a porn downloader saver, so I don't know. But to me, if you're going through the hassle of saving it, you're going to come back to it.
Exactly.
You want to see that again.
Why would you just save it and then never go back to it ever? It's fucking.
You know that. I just you're telling me now for the first time.
Yeah. No, Vaush. No.
Shout out, Wolfie.
Those people
Thanks,
should go
Wolf.
looking
Dude,
for
Wolfie's the man.
The wolf.
You sent it to Wolf?
Obviously. So it's pretty much entirely a take me at my word or don't kind of situation where people are free to lie about the drawings, or as
lie. Oh, he's not being honest now.
I've already seen on Twitter just post other really bad looking shit and say that's what I had in my folder. There's not much I can do about it. Right?
stop it.
It's all totally.
That's such a fucking bullshit thing. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of rumors out there that all these things.
Some's real, some isn't.
It doesn't get worse than what it is. It can't get worse. What does that mean?
He downloaded the lolly.
You have lolly. You
had the
admitted to
lolly.
it being, and you even admitted to understanding that it was lolly. You're like, yeah, I can see that. It's like, brother, come on.
And as we've said a million times, like he's a streamer. If it was anyone else, they could just say a million things. You know, oh, it was for this or that or whatever. Because he has this whole history is what makes it so fucked up. Which, yeah.
That's the thing.
Unfalsifiable, and people are going to make whatever assumptions and inferences they want to make. All I can really say is that I didn't notice the problem while saving the drawings, the same way a person could fail to notice any element of any drawing if they were careless or in.
Bro, that's such. So this image is like.
This is fair to say, believe me or don't. Yeah, except for when you don't believe him, he's going to cry about you being bad faith, you taking things out of context. When you just simply don't believe him because he's obvious he's full of shit, right?
The young looking characters is the main focus of the images, if I'm recalling correctly. And that's not like buying Where's Waldo and fucking missing the Nazi in the corner doing a Heil Hitler or something. No, dude. No. And that was a good addition. It was unexpected, but good. Many people didn't know this. Waldo's actually, he's a very
Shoot
fervent
Nice
Nazi.
is watching, buddy. You're done, Vaush.
Kind of disappointing to learn.
Shoot Nice is going to fucking expose you.
Hell, chat also pretty much immediately clocked two other drawings in the folder preview window as being AI art. Something else I didn't notice, and they gave me plenty of shit for that.
What?
Too, because I'm not a big fan of AI art.
Of course.
I think I've done a good job of demonstrating a tendency towards carelessness, if nothing else. So leaving that
a tendency towards carelessness. Okay.
Stupid.
So at what point does he say, "I just want to fuck horses. I don't want to fuck kids"? He says that, right?
He says he can still make the horse jokes at some point.
So
No, you don't get it, dude. He wants to be the horse and fuck women, okay? Come on, Ethan. You're being so bad faith right now. Like, wanting to be the horse and wanting to get fucked by the horse, they're so different, bro. They're super different, bro.
his strategy is like, I'm going to toss them a ton of bones about how embarrassing and pathetic I am, and hope that they gnaw on those and be like, oh, he's so humble.
Exactly what fucking Colleen Ballinger did when she said, not a groomer, just a loser. Like, she was hoping people would just like call her a loser. But no, you were a freak.
So much humility.
Yeah.
To admit these things. And then, hopefully they ignore the gaping chasm, which is the real issue here. He needs to now explain that new Discord message. But there's actually, I'm over talking about Vaush, unless you think I missed something.
No, I'm just going to say that his explanations with context end at 1:20, roughly, of the video, and then the rest is just basically him apologizing to his audience, which I think adds on to what you were saying, basically, that he's just basically trying to make himself a victim.
Or, yeah. So, okay, whatever. But ultimately, he's right. You believe him or you don't. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's what it is. And if you do believe him, chances are you haven't seen the images. That's my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you have, then you need help.
We've all jerked at the lolly.
Honestly. But there's other interesting updates here. What was the other stuff I wanted to see that was Vaush related?
Tipster.
Oh, this one. Fucking Keffels was coming for me.
Oh, Keffels.
Ethan's phone. I guess I didn't never showed this before on stream.
I don't think we got
Oh,
it.
interesting. So she posted this. Oh my god, I can't believe what I'm dealing with here. Here's Keffels talking about what a piece of shit I am.
Ethan's phone number. He gave it to me. I'll try to call him later. Do not fucking call me. I don't remember giving you my phone number. I don't remember talking to you on the phone, but do not fucking call me, please.
Do you want to know the context of that?
What's the context?
It was back when Twitter circles was still a thing. And I was suicidal. It was before I went to rehab.
I was going to kill myself.
And he saw a Twitter circle where I was talking about how I wanted to just fucking end it. And he reached out and gave me his phone number.
Ethan,
that's what the context was.
God, you should really should have just fucking done it.
Piece of shit.
In Minecraft, you should have just quit your hardcore world. That's all.
What the fuck am I missing? I totally forgot the context. Actually, now I remember that she mentioned it. Yeah, I saw her on Twitter. I saw something that I thought was really concerning, and I wanted to make sure that she had somebody to talk to if she needed somebody.
Wow, it sounds like Ethan was a nice guy. It's surely Keffels won't completely fucking backstab him and utilize this to slander him at a later date and make herself look like such a fucking victim all the fucking time.
I DM'd her and gave her my phone number. She never called me. However, I fail to see how that's proof that I'm an asshole.
Yeah, it just makes him sound like a nice guy.
Yeah.
What is she thinking? Was she thinking like, oh, he pretended to care about me, but he doesn't?
I think it's like she thinks you're minimizing that she felt that way back in the days. Or that you turn. Well, she also always says that you turned on her.
Idiot.
Like, oh, you put me up as a hero.
I think people think that like they have this really weird notion of like allegiance and like,
yeah.
I don't know her at all.
Leader
Frankly,
H3.
because I reached out and I was concerned for her. To me, I do. It's like a human emotion. That's all. Because I did something nice for you. What I felt was nice. I don't know if it's objectively nice if you perceived it as such, but means that I owe you. That I'm in your debt.
It's definitely nice. I mean, what do you have to gain from it? She's a smaller creator. You reached out to try to help her. I mean.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't really know.
Exactly.
I don't really get it. Like, this happened before where they are getting fucked with copyright stuff and I reach out and help them with DMCA. And it turns out they're not people that I really fuck with. And so I end up talking about them. And then they get this notion that we were like best friends or something because I helped them with some shit. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, helping people like in certain situations isn't an endorsement of them as human beings forever.
Yeah. I mean, Vaush thought you guys were friends because he, quote unquote, took your side with the whole Hassan stuff.
Bro, how can you even say that? Like,
we're best friends. I defend you, dude. Actually, I am best friends with Ethan Klein because I'm defending him this one time. It's true. It's true.
Be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we got to wrap it up. Dan is telling me, and you're right. This is the whole point. We don't want to end up doing these long ass shows now. Start doing 5-hour shows. But this is an important message from Chris Hansen.
You have to cool it with the horse stuff.
Okay.
Look, I get it. We all.
All right, that's where I'm going to end it there. I think it's pretty obvious to literally any normal person watching ever that Vaush is a sick freak who should get offline immediately. I mean, it's quite frankly just fucking ridiculous what he's been allowed to get away with and the amount, like the volume of people defending him, the mass, because he's fat. Tipster's fat, but
Welcome to the